Hey guys, welcome to episode 175 of 4PlayerAnimecast. This is the 24th of July, smack dab in the middle of summer, and we are finally getting full on into the summer season. Again, most series have gotten started. There's still like a cascade. Some series I think still haven't come out, right? Right?
Um,
There's like one or two series that still I think haven't come out. And then
Chinese
there's like
Summer
a couple
starts
of
in August.
yeah. There's a couple of stuff that's like one or two episodes out, but most series are three, four episodes in, so we'll be able to go through some of them today. And with me, of course, are my compatriots Near,
Hello.
Toast,
Mir, how's your throat infection?
It's not infected.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Ho Maureen had a throat infection and she used a soundboard. Are you gonna use a soundboard?
No.
No. You should make one.
anyways,
Yeah.
and Dark.
Hi.
Yes. Anyways, let's get straight into things. How was your past 2 weeks?
Me?
Near.
Sure.
I'll start with Near.
Oh, okay. Well, on what was it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Pretty sure I got my second dose. My
Of what?
vax,
Of
right?
what? Which one?
Pfizer.
Good.
Um, and I got it. I got it at what? Two? Yeah, like 2:30, I think. Um, and I was pretty good for pretty much most of the day. Um, my arm was a little sore, but nothing too big. But then at about like what, 2 o'clock, I think, uh I started getting real fucked up. Um
That's how it works in here. The second dose is supposed to. That's the one
yeah.
that rewrites your DNA. It hits you
Yeah.
harder
Yeah,
than the
it's
first.
slowly turning you into Bill Gates.
Yeah, I'm slowly being fucking vilified. But yeah, I started getting real hot. Uh like
Nice.
real warm. Um, and so I think I was in the call with Dark Inspire, and I was like, I gotta
Yeah, you
I
had to
gotta
go lie
I gotta
down. Yeah.
go.
I thought
And
it was
so
just because you're sleepy, but yeah, it's
no,
unfortunate that
I
you
was I
got
was
like
getting
that.
fucked up. Um, but then when I laid down, I started shaking, like like
Oh, the flu
really
symptoms,
bad.
Uh-oh.
like
Um,
fever symptoms.
yeah, I was
I get.
shivering like really bad, and the problem is I was sore. Like I was really sore too. So like,
Mm,
you know, the combination of my body being sore as fuck and like all of my muscles contracting at like the same time fucking sucked ass. Um, but I finally got to sleep, and then the next day, which was yesterday, I I was I was gone, man. Like I could barely move. I was like boiling hot. My skin was insanely sensitive. Like, yeah, I was real
yeah,
fucked.
yeah, yeah.
Sounds like the vaccine is incompatible with Canadian DNA. Near. Did you get
Yeah,
the
it's
American?
more of
You not get the
It's all the
Canadian one?
maple syrup.
it's more of
It
I
does
don't get
hit
I don't
people
get
differently.
yeah, I don't get sick very often. But whenever my body does have a reaction to something, it's usually pretty fucking bad. Um,
Mm,
so I think I just got a bad roll. But
yeah.
yeah, today I'm pretty all right, except I do have a sore throat, so I've got some ice cream with me.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, other than that,
Near, near,
not
near.
too
It just
much.
means that you had it already, and so the vaccine's fighting it off.
Uh-huh. I don't think that's what that means. Because if I had COVID, I would have been real fucked up. Um,
Can you
but
taste the
yeah,
ice cream there?
yeah, I sure
Are
can.
you sure? What flavor is it?
It's a mint chocolate chip.
Okay, just making sure.
He's near is the mint type.
Yeah?
Uh, wait, who likes mint in here? Actually,
Not
I
me.
forget. Is it just
I
near?
don't mind it. I don't mind
I
like
hate
chocolate
it.
mint, but
Damn.
I don't seek it out.
I don't. I'm not like. I don't. I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, I just hate it because I hate the taste. It's not that I necessarily like hate the taste. It's that it
I
just like
do.
instinctively makes me nauseous. Like I can't explain why. It's very. It's like one of those things where it's like, if I get on a roller coaster, like I know that I'm not gonna like just randomly crash to my death. Right? It's been ridden hundreds of
Are you?
times.
Are you? Do you have a fear of heights?
Can't be sure about that
Not
actually.
really. I don't even
So,
have a fear of heights, but it's
or
just
you're
like
wrong.
yeah, it could be the 101st time, but it's like I don't even have a fear of heights, but it's just like oh, like those like transparent glass like floors that they have on like super high buildings. Like I
Yeah.
can do those perfectly fine, but it's like when I'm on roller coasters and like it goes down, I just like
It's the
like my
physical.
body's like you need
Yeah.
to scream right now,
It's the
bitch.
physical
And,
sensation of like
yeah, exactly.
falling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's
I
like I
get
can't help
I get that
myself.
same feeling on fucking elevators. Like,
Yeah.
Near, you should
yeah.
you should jump up when you're on an elevator.
Uh
It'll make you feel better.
you should
yeah, I
scream
should
when you're on the
I should
elevator.
I should scream and jump up and down. That'll make the other people very calm.
So near the
Near,
real
have
trick.
you have
The
you
real
been on one
trick.
of those super like multiple like 50 floor in like 3 seconds kind of elevator?
Those are
Those
fun.
like super fast elevators that like span like
Um
super tall buildings.
no,
Those are
I have
fun.
not.
Okay. Because those are like I don't really care. I don't really like. I don't feel anything on elevators. But even like those, like when those like go fast, I'm just like I actually feel stuff. I'm like, fuck.
Uh,
Yeah.
even
The,
like
the,
even like slow ass elevators that would go like from like floor 1 to floor 2, like as soon as it starts lurching downwards, like my stomach just fucking churns. I don't know why. Um
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
guy gets it
I
from
get it.
that. I get it from if I fucking fall a certain height in any game, my fucking stomach turns. So
yeah.
don't worry,
I
near
can't say elevators.
the real tech is just as the elevator's about to stop, you jump. You'll experience true free fall for like a split second.
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
Sure is fun.
But yeah. Other than that, other than getting real messed up, that was basically my 2 weeks. I haven't really been up to much. Uh Taking a bit of a break from Shadowverse right now, even
That's
though
for the
there's a Grand
best.
Prix going on. Whatever, man. Game's stressful. Other than that, Punishing Gray Raven, the brand new gacha game that just came out about a week ago. We're playing that. It's kind of fun. Pretty rocky launch, but
How's the
devs have been
compensation?
the devs have been pretty open. Well, so the thing is, the game launched right, and they launched like 2 days after launch. I think they put up the first event, and it's apparently an event where like the last reward in it is a skin, right? Character skin. And apparently it's like NA only. It's a global exclusive skin. Um,
Is it hot?
yes, it's a good skin.
Good.
It's like it's got like a nurse aesthetic, with the eye patch and everything. But the problem is like the way the event works is you kind of just play the game, and then you get these tokens which you use to roll this like slot machine thing, right? And depending on how many matching symbols you get, you get points, right? And uh people did the math pretty much as soon as the event came out, right? And it was like mathematically impossible to get all of the rewards unless you paid up, and you would have to pay up a lot of fucking money.
Oh, the
Uh
classic.
yeah, so people got really upset. Um and luckily the devs responded. I think they extended the duration of the event so that way you could get more points. I still don't really know if it's like actually possible to get all of it for free. Hopefully it is. because I'd rather not
Hey,
pay up.
if
for the skin.
not, then pay up, buy your favorite other skin, and use the coins from that.
But yeah, than that, some people were upset about some of the currency pricing. Apparently, like, cause you know how most gachas these days they have like the monthly pass kind of thing. So in this, it costs 30. The monthly pass costs 30 rainbow cards, right? Which is the premium currency that you can buy. But the problem is the $5 pack. I think it's the $5 one. Only gives you 28 rainbow crystals.
Yeah.
Rainbow cards, right? So people were really fucking miffed about that one. And I think they said they're looking into like changing the pricing on the rainbow card packs because apparently that's like that like pricing is literally universal across all the versions. Apparently all the versions are like that, which is gross. But you know,
Yeah, welcome
whatever.
to fucking Apex Legends pricing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit too used to like Shadowverse pricing, which is kind of like the same problem, but like in reverse, because it's like a leader in Shadowverse is like 500 crystals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the closest pack to 500 crystals is the $10 pack, which gives you 600 crystals, right? And so you're always left over with like this little bit of surplus crystals, and so it's always like, you know, when the next thing you want comes out, it's like, oh well, you know, uh, like if you just keep spending money, eventually your surplus crystals will turn into basically like a free leader or whatever, right? Um, but you know, it's kind of the opposite here, where it's like, yeah, you gotta buy 2 packs to get this
Yeah,
money.
it's a sync. It's always going to be
Yeah,
a
you
sync.
gotta buy
Essentially.
more,
Yeah.
It's
which then
inevitable.
leads to you being like, oh, well, if I spend a little bit more, I can get like another thing.
The thing is that's a standard model more than it is, obviously, because you companies want it to be a sync. They don't want it to be a
Yeah.
surplus, right? Because if it's a surplus, they don't make the money. But the thing is, then it's like if you make that too obvious, or if you make that too short term, like, oh, I'm already at a deficit and I already need to chip in, then it starts becoming like a pure issue.
Well, I mean, it's also like you don't want to do that for a recurring fucking payment. Like,
Yeah.
something
Have
that
it
you want
for-
people to be buying every month, you definitely don't want to do that for.
Yeah, because it just feels like shit, especially when it's like the pack you're buying is short 2 currency. It's like, come on, dude. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna be doing that like every month, like just give them the 2 fucking currency. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I mean, at that point, it'd probably be more profitable to do extra because then eventually people will pay more down the line to get something else.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, to get that little teeny bit of surplus, like it just feels you don't feel as bad for buying the pack, right? Like I get that it's not as financially like doesn't make quite as much sense. But like it doesn't feel like shit to buy the pack. You know what I mean? So I feel like the tiny bit of surplus is probably a little bit smarter, but
Well, I mean, it's also the
I'm
difference
not a
between,
Japanese businessman, so what do I know? Right.
like, you know, if you're gonna buy like, let's say the monthly pass, like at this point, it'd be like $6 then. Like, you'd have to buy the $5, and then you'd have to buy like the $1. You're gonna get a lot of people who just don't do it because that's now they have to go through 2 purchases, then
Yep.
literally just one tap, like one single one. So
Just
Yeah,
just play Pokemon Unite instead. That's
yeah.
not
Pokemon Unite is the
that's
real
not pay
fucking
to win at
new
all.
the new
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's
It's a
bro,
it's a
10-minute MOBA
MOBA, isn't
battle.
it?
Yeah, 10-minute MOBA battles. That's it. Apparently. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yikes.
I
uh,
saw that Charlie video. He spent like $100 to upgrade one of his items to like level 30, and it's a significant.
yeah,
He had a
but like
significantly huge
Nintendo
advantage
doesn't do
over
any
anyone
of
else.
that scummy loot box bullshit, you know. So
Yeah, Nintendo would never ever nickel a dime for
never
customers
ever.
ever.
It's 10 cent though.
But yeah. Anyways, Nier, anything else in the past 2 weeks? I know again you are not having a great time in the past couple of days, but anything else in the overall
Just
2
get
weeks
over
you
it,
want to point
Nier.
out?
Not
Grow
really.
stronger.
Okay. With that then, next on Toast.
What?
What about your past 2 weeks?
I don't know. Been all right.
Okay.
Nothing off the top
So
of my
nothing much.
head.
Okay. So obviously you've actually been watching a couple of series, right? I know you've pointed out
What?
some stuff,
What
and
did I watch?
the stuff that
Oh
you
right,
pointed
I
out.
watched a movie. That's right.
The movie too, yes.
I watched Monster Hunter on, was it Amazon? Is it on Amazon Prime? Amazon Prime? I don't know. I got a Fire Stick. It sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. It's not a good movie.
Nice.
Wait, which one? Oh, okay, the movie, not that
The
like
Monster Hunter
new,
movie.
not the new one that's
Yeah.
coming or
The one
whatever.
with Mia Jovovich. When did it come? It came out last year. I completely forgot about
I
it.
think it was
Yes, I
last.
think it came
It
out
said- it said
during
2020.
COVID. Like,
I think it
Oh,
came
it's-
out like just before COVID.
No, I
really?
think
Because
it had like a
remember
December release date.
they had to like change. Uh,
Oh yeah,
they had to
because there was
change the
straight up a
fucking
Chinese
yeah.
joke.
They had to
It's
change
like,
the
bro,
who's
what?
these joke.
That joke sucks anyway. Like, it's not even
Yeah,
like a
Not good.
just
Oh yeah, it came
just
out.
even detached. It fucking blows. Like, it's not even close to being funny. It's just like
December
whatever.
18. But yeah, it sucks. But the real thing is, I finally watched a Spring Song. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Nier, did you watch it? Why didn't you watch it?
Because my theater literally just opened like 2 days ago.
So you can watch it now.
I don't think it's showing.
Yeah, I watched it Sunday. So I wasn't on the podcast that day. I watched it with apparently like 4 other people, and that was it. So it was a pretty cool. I got to sit wherever I wanted, but I chose the good seat, so no one can take it from me, kind of thing.
Nice.
So,
Oh, that was the movie you saw? I thought that was you seeing
yeah.
fucking Black Widow.
Oh no, hell no.
No one was there.
But yeah, it's a good movie. The highlight of the movie, animation-wise, is obviously the Saber versus Rider fight. But you can tell they spent almost all of their resources on that fight alone, even though that's not really the. If you know the visual novel, that's not really the focus of the fight, or that's not the main fight. The real main fights are Shiro versus Berserker and Shiro versus is Kirei, but those are the former being just one cool scene, the latter being more philosophical in nature. They didn't they didn't even use the cool track. You know the one.
Yeah.
What is it called? Is it all the world's evil? Is
I
that the
think
one?
so. That sounds familiar.
Kono Subete no Aku? Yeah, they didn't use that. Or no, that's not the one. What is the one? You know the one here. The one where they only called.
Good or evil? The one?
Is that the one? I think sure. If that's the one, they didn't use that. They used traditional Yuki Kajiura music.
Oh, apparently it's Hikari Toyami. Light
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
dark.
Yeah, they didn't use that. They used it was more philosophical Yuki Kajiura vocal whatnot. It's okay. What else? What about the movie? It's it's the finale, so it's action packed, all action. You get to see the good stuff, and you get to see the what is it? The final crystallization of Shiro's ideals of of this sprout, and it's a pretty good scene. You know the scene where that one scene where he has that choice, and he says the thing, and they're like, okay, you know the one. That was a really good scene in the movie. very emotional, and it's the ending. It's pretty bittersweet. It's the true ending, true ending, right? Yeah, it's a true ending, but got a bittersweet feeling to it because of Eimer's song. Eimer's song, Hana. What Yeah, Eimer's song's pretty good. Very melancholic. It's a hard fought ending. Not everyone came out of it unscathed, but at least you won, kind of thing. The kind of ending where it's like you did your best, and not everyone came out of it, but at least it's a good ending. It's not the ending where Sakura's sitting at the Emiya house for the rest of her days waiting for Shiro to come back, kind of thing. That's a really sad ending, but yeah, it's a good movie. Is it the best movie of the trilogy? No, no. I would say no,
Okay.
because it's mostly all about the action. But you don't come to fate. You don't watch Heaven's Feel for the action. You watch it for the story. So I would say one was kind of a slog. One is a slog to most people because it's heavily dialogue and story stuff. So I guess movie two would be the best mix.
Okay.
Two's my favorite, sure, but I like all of them. So is it the best movie Ufo Table's ever made? Yeah, yes. Better than Mugen Train? Oh, definitely. I didn't even.
Absolutely not. The numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
Well, you can't trust numbers all the time. You have to trust your instinct
Wrong.
and human nature.
I only trust numbers.
Well, then that
That's
makes you.
not what these VTuber fans are telling.
That's what makes you. Well, then you're not human, Dark. You have to. Since when did
Yeah,
humans
I'm
trust computers?
beyond.
I saw iRobot. I saw that Will Smith movie. Bicentennial Man. I saw those. Blade Runner. Can't trust. Can't trust. But you can't trust the machines. But yeah, it's a good movie. I'll recommend it. Are you gonna buy the DVD? Of course I will. Yeah, you should
Okay.
watch it.
Yeah. Well,
I will say one negative is I guess the 9-barrel revolver scene. He didn't use a revolver. He used a semi-auto. How dare you, Nier? How dare they not use an actual 9-barrel revolver and use a 9-bullet semi-automatic gun, probably an M19 or something, to show how Shiro visualizes his magic circuits. They did the trigger off scene, but I was like, it's a revolver. Also, compared to the VN, the actual Nine Lives Blade Works, it didn't look all that great. They didn't show, near in the visual novel they show the cool circle slash thing.
yeah.
In the movie they did it from a top down view, so it just looks like 9 slashes. It doesn't look like that cool circle with the
Oh.
stab in the middle. So I was like, oh, it did have the the cool lines in the ground behind Berserker thing, but I want the cool circle showing all 9 weak points in the human body, kind of thing. It did show show Hercules is 9 feats. Is it 9 feats? 9 trials as an added
It's
bonus.
nine
So I was like,
shrines. No, it's
hey,
9 trials.
that's those are those things from Fate Grand Order. You know the thing. Cerberus, is
Yes.
it Cerberus? Did Hercules fight Cerberus? Cerberus looking kind of mechanical, just like in Fate Grand Order. So that was a cool throwback.
Okay.
And no,
So
and another negative is no no Sparks Liner High. I wanted Sparks Liner High, man.
They were never gonna do Sparks Liner.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted it. Everyone wants to see Sparks Liner High, but you know, Sparks Liner High only happens if you don't have Ryder as backup against Saber. But since they had to show actually Ryder being a good servant,
They should just put Sparks Liner High as like a bonus in the Blu-ray or something.
I hope
But
they do.
they probably won't.
Probably won't. But yeah, it's a good movie. 10 out of 10. We'll watch it again. Maybe I did watch it again 2 days afterwards. can't tell me what to do.
Okay.
I did. It was supposed to come out in November. You know how long I waited? 9 months. Is it 9 months? November, December, January. 9 months.
Well,
Was
you
it
know,
worth
you know
the
how
wait?
it is.
Yes.
You know how it is in with international releases by now. You
Well, that's
Not
the reason. Well,
everything can be released on Disney Plus, you know.
know.
well,
Anyways,
that's because it got hit. We got hit with the Rona wave again. So like we're gonna cancel all the movies. And I was like, damn it. But yeah, that's what I did.
okay. Thank you, Toast. And with that, we'll move on to Dark. How have your past 2 weeks been?
Um, pretty okay. Uh, just also been playing Punishing Gray Raven. That game is quite fun, quite a good game. That well, not adapted, but like, you know, good controlling game for mobile. Very fun to play. I've just kind of been doing like some Genshin stuff. Got to keep going because I'm not even in Inazuma yet because I fucking like basically neglected that game for anything other than leveling for like a very long time. Because I was like,
Honestly,
fuck
that's
it,
the
I'll
best way to
finish
go.
it. Yeah, like I'll stack it all up and then I'll just fucking blow through it when Inazuma comes out. Now Ball leaked and she's very fucking cool as well. So now I don't know who I'm rolling for anymore. So there's that. Also, still no fucking Venti Archon outfit almost a year after the game comes out. So still waiting on that.
Don't worry, it'll probably leak 6 months before it comes out.
Dude, like, what the fuck? Like, why save like a break glass in case of emergency when it'll just make you money forever? What are you waiting for? You already have a costume system in the fucking game now. But
Hey,
anyhow,
you gotta keep the constant. You gotta keep the constant cash flow, bro.
You gotta get the drip.
That's what they always say, right? They just gotta keep the
slow drip feed of fucking
yeah.
yeah, I guess. I mean, it's just strange that it's like, I mean, not even just that. It's just strange that like Inazuma didn't launch with any other costumes either when we just had like. Oh, actually, you know what? No, I fucking lied. What they did was they put up the free one up. Barbara's costume that you could earn for free is now available in the shop if you fucking missed the event for whatever fucking reason. If you missed the event that took 15 minutes to get the outfit for, which I guess is fair, but I think the outfit is also still like $30. So it's like, damn, if you missed that shit, like, get fucked, I guess. I mean, the outfit's also not that good. But
great.
Wow, that's different from what Nier said. Which one of you is lying?
Huh?
Are you talking
No,
about
that's Genshin.
No,
The Punishing
this
Gray
is-
Raven
this is
outfit is
Genshin.
very good.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hit me up with that. Let me see.
Oh,
I'll have to link it.
I can get you it.
Yeah, hit him with it. In that game, in Punishing Gray Raven, I bought one of the costumes today that I was waiting when it showed up in
Oh,
the
I
thing.
see. It's pretty good.
I bought a costume called, was it like Shining Star or something? Shooting Star, which is a very cool, like, robotic, like, skeletal, like, themed in a way, outfit for one of the characters. And it looks very neat. Not really sure why most of the paid costumes in that game are, like, evil, but there's that. They're not really evil, but they look like, they make them look like, not really monochrome, but it's like, compare like a regular servant to like an altar like Saber Altar. Like, makes their skin way paler, their hairstyles, like, their hair colors like paler and shit. Very weird. But they're cool. And the gameplay is very fun, so. It's pretty much been it. Other than that, just been playing a shitload of Warframe.
hold on,
very
Dark.
lot.
Tell us about this new character that got leaked that apparently people like. Also, that one leaker got obliterated or something.
I mean, I don't know about the
In
leakers. I
Genshin.
don't really care. Like the leakers were getting way too bold. Like they're fucking stupid because MiHoYo literally MiHoYo was literally doing a thing where they were tracking people down based on the fucking damage numbers that were being shown in videos at some point. They were like adding up the numbers and being like, "Oh, what account had this happen on this enemy at this exact time? Okay, this account,
Oh, okay.
that's the fucking
Uh-oh.
person who recorded this fucking video."
Nice.
So very bold move of people to still be leaking shit for Genshin. So there is that.
Yeah.
The new character in Genshin is Ball. She's the new Archon for Inazuma. I know nothing about her character-wise because again, I haven't really played Inazuma yet. I do know that she takes like the country's the nation's like thing is that she just amasses and like puts in a statue everyone's fuck, what are those called? Visions, the thing that lets them like get the like elemental powers and shit. Like she amasses them and takes them from people. So I know there's that. I think she's like labeled
She's
to
literally
be
a character from Honkai.
yeah, she's also the like what's it called? Like Thunder Raiden or whatever
Yeah.
from Honkai.
Oh, is it what?
Huh?
She's
Yeah,
Maid
she's
from Honkai.
BAAL.
Ball?
Yeah. Yeah, she's very much one of May's May's costumes in Honkai.
Yeah.
I think
But
yeah,
what
I think
about
the costume that it is like just straight up called like Thunder Raiden or something or Lightning Raiden.
Yeah.
But what about the
Uh,
other super cool Genshin Impact character,
s-
Aloy?
oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Aloy's coming out from fucking oh my god, what I can't think of Horizon,
Horizon Zero
which
Dawn.
Zero Dawn, and she looks strange, but honestly, I don't mind it because it's like I guess her like fucking Fortnite skin already desensitized me to her looking like kind of weird
Cartoony.
and like cartoony.
Are you saying
There's
you don't
that.
like how Aloy looks in Horizon Zero Dawn 2?
In that one picture, she just genuinely looks fucked up and looks like Tucker Carlson. I will not deny that. But like just in like the rest of the trailers in the game, like she looks fine. She looks like an older or a like higher like definition version of Alloy in Horizon 1. So really nothing to complain about realistically.
Anything
Yeah.
else going on in the past 2 weeks, or was that pretty much it?
No, not really. Just grinding Warframe's new update, and that's about it.
Okay. Uh, uh, for me, oh, thank you, Dark. And as for me,
What'd you do, Spire? Regale us in your tales of valor.
I didn't have too much going on the past 2 weeks. Watched a couple
How,
series here and there, but
what VNs are the hot take nowadays? Because I got some hot takes I want to discuss with you.
uh, again, I do have King Koi that I do want to go through, but I really want to freaking go through the what is it? Nukitash. I want to go through Nukitash 1 and 2. I still want to go through Amakano 1 and 2. What do I have that's like actually translated? It's Kinkoi. It's Amaterasu Riddle Star. That's not something I want to play really. Alcana I heard was okay, but it's made by the same studio as Koisenkyo, right? So it's like I don't know about that. It's a little bit. I never really liked the quote unquote plot twists in Koisenkyo. It was kind of stupid. But oh right, Daitoshuka no Hichichikai. That's an August thing, but it was one of their sort of lesser things. So whatever.
Wait,
Um,
did you say Iyashike?
no, Daitoshuka no Hichikai, the Shepherd of the Great Library. Um,
Wow, the library, what a nerd. Libraries don't
it's
exist in modern times now because of the pandemic.
yeah.
Whatever happened?
Uh,
Like, Have you guys been to your local library recently? I
I
haven't.
haven't been to a local library in probably like 6 years.
I mean,
The last
I
time
think
I
in
went to a
general,
library was in college. Like, and that was only like first year in college.
um, but yeah, not too much. Just there's a couple of stuff on my backlog, but a lot of past 2 weeks was kind of me spending a little bit more time in just running around, kind of doing stuff in real life, trying to set up stuff. So that's been about it. And
Spire, you like Hayase you, right?
what?
Ta would you recommend Chihiro Himukai Always Walks Away? Apparently, it's an Iyashike.
Oh, that one. Um,
I knew he knew that one.
honestly, I haven't looked at anything except for the premise. Doesn't I'm not a big fan of these types of premises. It's very predictable.
So you prefer the horny housewife? My horny housewife friend sexual
That is
awakening
not
then?
what
All
that is
right, I got you.
not what I said. But anyways,
Would you recommend that
You
one
didn't
though?
have to say it.
no, I wouldn't recommend that one
Why not?
either. For obvious reasons. I don't, but yeah, what is it? That's been pretty much my past 2 weeks. And yeah, anyways, with that, or yeah, it's been pretty quiet. And with that, we will move on to our reviews, starting with Near. What do you have for us today?
Wow. Well, I
Is it Scarlet Nexus? I know that has an anime.
no.
Oh,
I don't want to watch Scarlet Nexus. Um,
Play the game.
yeah. Uh, what I watched was Deatte byou de battle, also known as Battle Game, 5 seconds.
This is a Hiroyuki. The original manga was created by Hiroyuki, right?
I
Is
keep
this the
seeing that
Hiroyuki
manga
one?
pop up, and I always skip over it.
Let me see. The manga, web manga.
No, it's not. Never mind. I lied.
Nishwa
Um,
Miyako art
This liar.
and Saizo Harawata. No,
wasn't there a Hiroyuki one?
I don't know.
This. Okay. Anyways, keep going. Sorry.
But
Oh, it's girlfriend. Right. I apologize,
right, right,
friend.
right, right.
Yeah.
But this series is I mean, it's a battle royale series with powers.
That sigh always forebodes good things. Just
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. So the basic story is the main character, Akira Shiro Yanagi. Um, he's a gamer. He's a hardcore gamer, and
Is
he's
he hard?
always gaming.
Is he hardcore?
Um,
More hardcore than gamers?
I probably.
The
I
show
mean,
gamers?
yeah. It's like he's like legitimately addicted to game. Like the series starts off where he's in his room, which is a fucking pigsty, and he's playing some game. And I forgot to take a screenshot, but the game he's playing, it literally looks like Debate Lord the game.
Debate Lord the game. You mean like
Because
is it like Ace Attorney like fucking ripoff or something? What's going on
no,
there?
the screen is literally like two health bars, um,
Hmm.
one on each side of the screen, and between them are like text boxes that are debating between value of money versus the value of time. Um,
That seems like a fucking terrible game,
yeah, it
honestly.
seems like a fun game, right? Um, I I'll have to get a screenshot, but like, but yeah, that's the game he's playing, and the dude like rage quits on him, right? And then he goes, "Damn, I'll never be able to like climb the leaderboards like this." And it's like, what kind of game with a leaderboard doesn't just like give you the win if somebody disconnects, right? Like, anyway, so he goes to school. Like he's walking to school, and he's playing Tetris on his phone with
Gross.
like one hand touch controls somehow. I don't know how he's doing that, but
You have a button to rotate, you know?
you don't, not in this one. You just control it with your mind, I guess. But yeah, uh, and as he's walking to school, he gets attacked by this giant dude wrapped in bandages. And he somehow manages to outsmart him and kill him by like dropping shit on him. And then this magical cat girl shows up and kills him, basically. Shoots him through the chest with the magic orb. Um, so he dies, and then he wakes up, and he's like handcuffed. And then the cat lady goes, "Yeah, you guys are in a battle royale. You all have abilities. You've all been given random abilities. Um, and you'll start off fighting one on one, and then later on there will be like team battle shit. Um, have fun.
So this is battle royale, right?
Yes, this is it's just straight up battle royale. They
Okay.
bring everybody into a room. They say, you guys all have abilities. Um, please figure them out. Go to your rooms, and you'll be randomly selected to do one-on-one shit. Uh, and then they duke it out. And so
What are
the main
what are the
character,
themes that are, sorry for interrupting, but um what are the themes that are focused on in this series? I know, like, obviously, like, there are some standard stuff sometimes, like battle royales go through, where it's like, should I, or fight or flight, or should I or shouldn't I, all that blah blah consequentialism kind of stuff. But is there a specific set of themes that the series decides to focus on, or favors one over the other, or
not
it,
really.
okay.
So the basic, like, I guess, dynamic going on is, I guess, just like the character motivations. Because, like, so the first episode is like, the first one-on-one between main character and this delinquent dude. Um, and when the main character goes to his room and he reads, like, the letter he gets that describes like what his power does, it doesn't tell you, right? It doesn't show you. And then they do the battle thing. The delinquent dude can like turn a stick into a sword, which seems like kind of a shitty power. I don't know, it's just me. But then the MC like dodges him and runs away from him for a while, and then he reveals his power, and then he turns his arm into like a plasma cannon, right? Uh, and he shoots the
Okay.
dude, and he goes like, "Give up, surrender." Um, and so he does, and then he wins. And then it's revealed later on that the main character's ability is uh, whatever. Let me see if I can find a direct fucking quote because this is really confusing. Um, so his ability is whatever your opponent thinks your ability is. Um, so basically, he has to
Oh,
create.
if you just believe, then he can do it.
He
Is
It's not so much that like he has to trick his opponent into believing that his ability is whatever he is
Oh,
trying to.
is it that is it like that index arc with where Toma gets his, like, what is it, the no, not yeah, where Toma ends up getting his arm cut off in a building, right, or
Wow,
whatever. And
spoilers.
then the guy he's
Yeah.
fighting, the dude's power is literally like, if if the opponent believes it, then it like actually
Nah,
like
the other guys.
it happens where he
No,
kills
you're
someone or something.
wrong. You're wrong.
Sorry, I'm
That's not what
bad.
it
I'm bad
is.
at my
The
memory. My memory
enemy
is
is a
terrible.
sir. First of all, also I watched this like fucking a decade ago. By the way, still remember like it was fucking yesterday. The other guy
My
is an
memory is terrible.
alchemist
Yeah.
who bends reality to essentially his will, even on like subconsciously. So he has to keep like fucking essentially stabbing himself with a pin to fucking focus his thoughts, or everything will fall apart. But
Right.
after Toma got his arm cut off, it turned into his other thing where it's like a dragon. And then the guy's thoughts basically amplified that because he felt fear, which
Right. Right.
I
And then
suppose the way this is
it
being
got turned
described
into a
is very
reality.
similar.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah.
his fear, the other guy's fears become reality and work against him essentially.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So the way they describe it is, um, he can't just like come out and just be like, yeah, bro, my ability is you die, right? Like because then the opponent's gonna be like, that's stupid. Like, what are you talking about? And he's not gonna believe it, so it can't become like reality, right? So he has to essentially create. He has to create an image of what the ability could be or what it could do in his opponent's mind, and then sort of manifest that image into reality, right? Um, like they call it illusion or whatever, but like it's basically just bluffing into like bluffing something into reality, right? And it has to be a good enough bluff that the opponent like can visually like imagine it and believe it, right?
So
Um,
is there a how imagine break again going back to the index example. Um, Imagine Breaker at has like specific moments when people are like, oh, this power activated. Now the opponent is fucked, right? The infamous wing kind of thing, right?
right.
Um, I'm really bad at describing the sound effect, but you'll know it when you hear it. But uh, is there a point in the series where like on a meta level, on a higher level, right? Us viewers watching the series, we're like, oh, this is the part where he obviously like starts believing in it. Like, is there like a obvious drastic disjoint transition?
Um, I mean, not. It's not like a fourth wall breaking thing, but like there is so like the cat girl magician that I was talking to you about, like she's watching all the fights or whatever, and like sometimes it cuts to like the surveillance room, and like they're sort of narrating the fight kind of going along, and it's kind of describing what's happening, but there's no like cut in that's like you know like like a
Like
JoJo
Chiafu,
like a
like
JoJo style cut in where it's like,
yeah,
this is the moment where like, he fatally made a mistake or whatever.
right.
It kind of just goes, right? It kind of just flows in real time. Um, but I mean, eh, I don't know. The power is kind of interesting. The first example they use of it is kind of lame because like the MC literally just runs away for like a solid few minutes, and then the dude is like, "Why haven't you used your power?" And he's like, "Because it's really, really strong." Uh, and then he like tricks him into like believing that it's really strong. That's why he hasn't used it. And then you know he calls back to his earlier when the cat girl was like describing to everybody that like you know you're trapped here, we could do pretty much whatever we want to you. You're gonna have to duke it out, kind of shit. There was one dude that like rushed her or whatever, um, and she shot him with the arm cannon, right? Uh, and he was like, the MC was like, "Yeah, I think you remember this ability," and so he like put the image into his head of like that moment that everybody saw, and then he like manifested that image onto like his own ability kind of thing. But like the fight itself was kind of lame outside of that. But I mean the power is interesting. They could do some interesting stuff with it, but you know, um, but yeah. Other than the MC, there's the female lead. Uh, Yuri Amakage. I guess she's like a deuteragonist or something. Because in the second episode it's mostly about her and her backstory, and her backstory is pretty stupid. She has like some weird obsessive hatred over random chance, and then it goes through like her entire life story.
Hey
and how,
man, join the fucking party. I hate
yeah,
RNG
like
too.
how like everything bad to her that ever happens is like,
It's all bad
know,
RNG.
it's like it's just random encounters. It's just by chance, and her like she like helps some dude that like nobody else is helping because he got like beat up or something, and then like he turns into a stalker, um, and then she blames that on like random chance, like she's the only person that helped him or whatever, and then just a bunch of other stupid shit happens, and then she's like, yeah, I hate random chance, and then you know in the first episode, she's the one that asks like the cat girl why are we all here, right? Um, and the cat girl's like, we picked you at random. She like starts seething at that. But like her power is really fucking lame. Like it's really stupid. Um, because like she literally just has chimp strength. Like her power is literally just like your physical abilities are quintupled. It's like, wow, that's
That's also not that good.
Sure is interesting.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
honestly.
Four times,
Like,
four times the
four times-
strength
you're
of a
like a
teenage
powerlifter?
girl.
Yeah.
Like,
Unless
oh
you're like
damn,
a
dude.
power lifter, like it
4 times strength isn't
literally
really
doesn't
that
matter.
good, but like, I mean, in reality, it's basically like Superman strength because she like punches through walls and shit, which is obviously not 4 times the strength of a teenage girl, but we're in a battle royale
Yo,
series.
4
now,
teenage girls.
But yeah,
Fucking
like
incredible.
the fight they give her is like, yeah, fight this literal rapist. Like,
Well, an actual
okay,
rapist.
So
Yeah.
it takes 4 teenage girls to take down a rapist?
Yeah,
So
is
does
that what
she
this
just
anime
like
say?
fucking kill him? Like,
I
Wait,
think
so
she
is this,
I think
is this
she
like
does.
death rate? What's happening?
Um,
like in
no.
terms of like
what was
the
his
setup.
what was his
In
power?
terms of like tone or what? So the,
Yeah, because it's like they're like kill this rapist, and it's like when did this suddenly become like you got to do this good stuff or whatever it is, right?
I mean, it's not like setting up the fights thematically. It's just like she just
Just a
happened to
random challenge.
she
Yeah,
just
so she had
randomly happened to have to
What?
fight a rapist.
It's
right?
all about
So it's like-
random chance, baby.
It's really dumb, right? Like,
What are these missions?
Another angle
That's
to it.
terrible.
yeah, because I mean, like they say all the people are picked at random, right? So I guess she just got that short stick. But the thing is, all right, like she has super strength, and this rapist dude, like, guess what his power is? Like, guess what the power of a muscled out like rapist that like stalks like young girls. Like, guess his power. What's the
Strength.
first thing that comes to your head? It's not strength.
Oh.
Sight. Speed.
Speed?
Super speed.
Yeah.
Sight
Invisibility.
Is close. Sight is sort of close.
Does he go invisible?
Laser eyes.
Yeah, is he Cyclops?
The problem is you guys are guessing useful powers. His power
X-ray
is
close
to-
vision, like he can see
Yeah,
through
yeah,
clothes.
like close vision.
Sort of, but not really. I'll just say it. He can smell the condition of his opponent.
That
Like
is
smell the fear?
worthless. That
Yes.
means
So yes, like he can
literally
smell-
nothing.
he can smell if somebody's scared or disgusted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's gonna be
That's
smelling
pretty
his
cool
own
power,
fucking
right?
like nose going
they-
through his
couldn't they-
fucking brain
they-
matter. Like,
Couldn't they at
wow.
least have given
Cool
him like
power.
pheromones power? Like that's essentially just like a variant of the pheromones power, right? But it's like he can smell a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. It's so much less cooler than just giving him a general pheromones power.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
so he
also
literally
it's
just
also
he literally just,
useless.
like,
Like, he'll
creeps
just
on her.
die. Like,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
just creeps on her. She gets creeped out. He gets her like trapped in a headlock, and then she's like, I don't know why she's not activating her power, right? Um,
She's find
and
the right
then
time, bro.
he, he says something about random chance again. Um,
That's
and
her
so she,
trigger.
yeah,
Her
she
devil trigger.
freaks out. She like breaks his arm, and then I guess she like caves his skull in. And it's like that's the fight. It's like wow, that was
Can I
really
can I say
Wow.
something? She did get angry at the fact that he was a rapist, but she got angry at the fact that he talked about random chance.
yeah, basically.
Listen, man, she got done dirty in her fucking classic WoW guild, all right? Like,
she she had some bad pachinko experiences. Let me tell you what. But can I
Yeah,
can I can I so this honestly doesn't. I mean, other than the rate of success or the rate of mission success, everybody kind of getting out alive or whatever it is, this doesn't seem too much different from a standard, say, something like Junie Tyson, right? Where they all have the powers and, kind of they have the set number of episodes where they kind of go through each character's background. I'm here, or I'm this angry because blah blah blah, or I did got this power, but then I responded to it because blah blah blah, and they kind of just rotate through the backgrounds, and then after that they just get killed left, right, and center, or whatever the fuck happens, right, in these battle royales. Um, is there any deviance from that, as far as you could tell?
like any deviance from the basic battle royale formula?
Uh-huh. And like,
No,
like they going through their biography.
no, no, no.
Nice.
This is really about as generic as it gets. I mean, the MC has like his motivation, I guess, for continuing through the battle royale is literally like, whoa, it's like a game. I love games, and it's like, dude, you
Games.
are so autistic. Like, and it's like after he wins his first fight, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill whoever's in charge of this. It's like, why? Like, you seem to like it here, dude. Like,
that's
why
how you
go
win the
after?
game, bro.
Yeah, like why
You might
go
like a
after?
video game, but you still gotta kill the final boss, bud.
Yeah, like I get the like scat girl, uh, like shot him earlier, but then he's like, damn, this game is cool. Like, I don't know, he seemed to be enjoying it, but yeah, I don't know, man. This it's pretty generic. Like you kind of just throw a bunch of people into a room. You say fight. They fight, and then you throw them onto teams, and then you say fight each other, and then they fight each other. Um, and then I'm sure some other bullshit happens. There's probably some dumbass magical conspiracies shit that comes out later. Um, and then they fight some more.
I mean, this is why we all love battle royales, right? This is the best genre.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Um, yeah, it's not that great. I mean, it's not like offensive, it's not like I'm not watching
Yeah,
this.
I've heard definitely more like egregious
Yeah, like I'm not watching this
timelines.
and like the stuff the characters are saying aren't being like this is fucking stupid. Like I'm not like when I was watching Junie Tyson for as little as I watched it, like the dumbass shit that like the characters were saying and doing, and like their stupid backstories. Um,
Also, the pacing was very like
yeah,
obvious. Like you're dying here, you're dying here, you're dying here,
yeah,
you're dying here.
it's
Goodbye, get out.
like so far they haven't like explicitly been like, yeah, this character is fucking dead, except for I think the rapist. I'm pretty sure he died. Um, but like when I was watching Junie Tyson, it was like upsetting, like how dumb the characters were, like some of the dumbass shit they were saying, especially like you know everybody just like not not to like instantly fucking killing the insane like necromancer bunny dude. Like, why would you keep him around? Just kill him,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Like
yeah.
he's evil. Just kill him.
Jujutsu Kaisen was composed of a lot of moments that made no sense.
Yeah, but this is like it's just generic, right? Like I could watch it, you'd be like, okay, like I expected that to happen, but sure.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's okay. Uh, it's just really painfully generic. I'd say the best part of this series is that the cat girl is voiced by Mayumi Shintani. So that's pretty cool. But that's probably where my praises stop.
For the series.
Yeah. Other than that, it's pretty generic. It doesn't really look all that great. Um, yeah, it was done by Synergy SP, who did the beloved Nijusai. Um,
Ah.
and other than
They
that,
also, I think,
they've done
mostly helped
like
with like kid series and so on.
yeah, they've done
Yeah.
like Beyblade stuff. I think they like I think probably their most famous series was like Hayate no Gotoku in 2007. So
That's a collab. Or they had to be a subcontractor, right? Because Hayate no
uh,
Goto, there's no way Synergy SP was the main studio behind
I
Hayate no
mean,
Goto. Let me
Mal
see this.
only lists them, so I don't know.
What
But
the
but yeah, I mean,
Wow, what the fuck, really? Oh, they were really the first season?
yeah, I
Well, I
guess.
guess Hayate no Gotoku has always had weird, like, it's been tossed around in a couple of studios, right? And it's
Yeah,
3 seasons.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, sorry, Colin.
But yeah, I mean, not exactly a top tier studio. The action isn't like it's not like ugly, but it's not like good. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of just
Uh,
there. Um, but yeah, the series isn't really like I would never recommend this series, but I would never be like, don't watch it. You know what I mean? Like
okay.
if you want to watch a generic battle royale series, like I mean, there's got to be an audience for those, right? They keep coming out. Um, if you want to watch one,
Bro, it's so much tension. Oh my god, I can't
yeah.
handle it.
Like I feel like they could do interesting things with the main character's power, like with the mind games and stuff. But I feel like most of the time it's probably just gonna be like an ass pull thing where like he runs away for a while. He sets up some shit in the environment,
I mean,
and then it's
having
like,
powers in itself is never that's a very, very like open premise. But it's the same thing as like I mean, you have powers in an isekai, right? As well. But it's just like or you can have powers in an isekai. But it's the same thing, right? It's like it just because you have the powers, but I mean, if you get dropped in a shitty isekai, it's already over, right?
yeah,
So I think right now the battle royale genre, at least in within the anime setting or manga setting or whatever Japanese animation setting you want to put it in, is kind of too strongly confined. Just kind of like the sort of sports competition like series of the subgenre where it's
yeah,
like very kind of strictly competition tournament based. And this one is again the battle royale is very strictly like, oh, we need to start, duking it out and having 10 scenes and scenes where people die. But before we do that, we need to start going over biographies so you actually feel something when they die. So, we'll quickly go over each person's biography and then boom, 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 we start. So it's because of that sort of strict schedule, like we gotta explain things and we gotta go kind of thing. It's very regardless of whether they have powers or not, or whether the powers are good or not, it just becomes very like sorry, we're doing the battle royale part now thing.
yeah.
So
But yeah, I mean, pretty generic, but not the worst thing I ever watched. So
okay.
you know,
All right. Well, thank you very much, Nier, for to review that Tegobyo de Battle or battling within 5 seconds or something like that. Battling within 5 seconds of meeting.
Yeah.
or battle within 5 seconds of meeting, or whatever it is. And with that, we will move on to Toast.
That's me.
What do you have for us today?
What? I don't remember the title. I don't remember the I don't remember the Japanese title. I've always called it one thing. So like,
I mean, its
Is
its
it
Japanese
Alright.
title is, I mean, its English title is fine. It's
all right.
yeah, the Duke
It's
of Death and his Maid, or
no, it's
Shinigami?
the Duke of Death and his Black Maid's fire. You forgot the Kuro part.
Well, the localization
Yeah.
Oh,
leaves
the
out
localization.
localization's not gonna be.
Understandably,
Don't blame me.
keeps that
Don't
out.
blame me. I was not the one who translated the title. Okay, I agree with you. But I am not the one who translated the title. But anyways,
Well,
yeah.
no, listen. I mean, I understand why they didn't call it
I would have taken
the
it out as
Duke of
well.
Death
if I
and
was
his
localizing it.
Black Maid.
Why? It's Kuro
shooting the
Maid.
messenger here. But
Kuro Maid.
Toast is correct.
She always wears black. It's like that's the whole.
Yeah,
That's the whole
you
thing.
could
I don't get it.
say the
Yeah,
Duke of
most
Death and his
maids-
maid
Yo,
in
the
black.
translation is
Then
perfectly fine.
Oh, I
okay?
get. Oh, I get it.
And
I
his
get it.
Black
All right, now I see
Maid.
it. Whoops, I see it now. Okay.
But yeah, the Duke of Death and his Maid, or in Japanese, is Shinigami Bochan to Kuro Meido. And so it is a manga original, right? It's a manga rom-com original, or yeah,
No,
rom-com manga original.
no,
And it's being done by JC Staff. Okay.
no, it's not.
What?
Yes, it is.
It is?
The studio's JC Staff, but it's entirely in CG, which is I had to look it up. It's Shogakukan Music and Digital Entertainment, who apparently is also the reason why High Score Girl is also in 3D. So it's that same partnership, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Suspicious.
I agree. Yeah. You're correct. Yes. Okay.
Suspicious. What was I talking
Keep
about?
going.
Okay. So it's about so the whole point of the story is there's some young Duke guy. When he was younger, some witch was all like, "Hey, you like girls?" And he's like, "I guess." And the witch is all like, "Too bad. If you love people so much, well, too bad. Now you can't love anyone ever again because I gave you a curse of death. So whoever you touch dies. So can't love anyone ever again." And he's like, "Oh no." And then his mom was like, "Ew, don't touch me, weirdo. Get out of here." So he gets kicked out of his house. Gets to live in some mansion in the woods because no one can touch him or they'll die. And
Except
then
for that.
except he can touch himself, I guess. So good for you.
Good point.
Not
Thank
all
you,
is
Toast.
lost, thank God.
Thank you, Toast.
But then his mom was like, "Here, you can have this old butler." And then 2 years later, some childhood friend that he knew as a maid comes home, and he's all like, comes with him. And he's all like, "Oh, cool. I guess I'm not alone." So so apparently this is a 12 episode series, and I'm 3 episodes in, and nothing eventful has happened at all. First
Wait,
episode,
so is this girl? This is a normal girl, but then is this a normal girl? So he would still activate
Yeah,
his power if
Yeah, I
he
think the
touched
thing
her.
is that he can't touch her, right? Like they can't
that's the
actually.
whole point. Yeah,
That's
Oh,
why
so they
in the
okay,
that's
so
why
they never
in the
touch
art
each other.
here, if you
Yeah,
see,
they're not.
they're both
Okay.
doing hover hands to each other.
Okay.
Wow,
So the
I can't-
classic Twitter pic kind of profile.
I can't
Classic
believe
con pics.
Yeah, exactly.
Why doesn't he just wear gloves?
it doesn't work. It works through gloves. Like
They probably They probably.
he
kinda
touches
bullshit.
roses through his gloves, and he's like, "Oh no, the rose died." He touched a tree, and oh no, the tree died. So
Mhm.
he wears gloves, just to make a point that he doesn't want to be touched, or whatever.
Even Rogue can wear gloves. That's kind of fucked up.
It's
They probably
near,
just
near,
try to
it's
tie up the
it's
force.
a curse. Curses don't work logically. So yeah, I can't believe
Anyways.
this anime predicted social distancing before it was
I'm
cool.
not sure if that's how it works, But so is this a how episodic is this series?
So,
Are there
all
mini
right.
arcs?
So
Is it episode by
let
episode,
me
or
go
what's
on.
going on?
So, let me preface this by saying there is a manga to this, and the manga is still ongoing. So I don't know why they decided to make a this is my gripe going on with 12-episode anime series that have mangas that don't have an ending.
I
Is
mean, it's there for
how
promo.
I know. But, like that's still my problem with it. It's whatever. So the first 3 episodes, nothing really happened plot wise. It is pretty episodical. First episode, here's your character introduction, like here, and oh look, he's on the swing, but then he accidentally touched the tree that the swing is on, and then the tree collapses on him. I'm like, okay, so that's the extent of your powers. And then his maid Alice, he's all like, oh hey, Bolchama, what's up? You want to do some cool erotic thing with me? And he's all like, I want to, but I can't. And she's all like, oh, that's a shame. And she keeps flirting with him anyways. And then that's it. That's episode 1. And then episode 2, here's the introduction to your little sister. She's kind of bratty, but at least she's your only visitor.
So
That's
they're just going
cool
through character interests. What's going on here?
so far. And then
Okay.
I mean, there was this one character like, hey, it's your childhood friend who's also a young master, and he wanted to visit you, but but then the whole reason for his visit is because the Duke's mom was like, hey, go check up on him or else, and he's all like, damn, okay. And then he goes there and he's all like, oh, I didn't even want to visit you. I wanted to take your maid, and save anyone from your curse. And he's all like, I only was here because my mom or your mom told me to. So I'm like, get away, loser. And he's all like, that's all. I just wanted to say that to your face. Bye. So I guess his mom wanted to check up on him by sending his friend, but the friend didn't want to because he didn't want to die. Because who would want to visit the Death Duke, this touch of death kind of guy? So that's how they establish that everyone else sees him as an outcast and no one wants to associate with him. But his sister's like, hey, big bro, what's up? I guess I'll visit you, even though I have the hots for your old butler man. But I'll visit you sometimes because I'm your little sister, your family and all. So little sister's a good person. Then episode 3, hey, you heard this weird tale about a witch who stole away some prince, and then the fiance every year cries to the moon. Because no, blows a kiss to the moon because that's where the witch took him. Apparently, I don't know, some weird made up.
Just a
But really good.
bastardization of Kaguya. Like,
Yeah, but I guess it fits into the
And,
Western themes of this show. And so the Duke was like,
and then
"Hey,
and then
Alice."
it's turning into okay.
The
You
Duke's like,
continue.
"Hey, Alice, that's kind of the opposite of our relationship because even though we like each other, we can't touch each other. So how envious are you of the princess and the prince?" And I'm like, "Okay, that's neat." So that's 3 episodes. So what does
Okay,
that have
well,
to do? Mostly this series is, well, I mean, having read the manga, this series is 80% of Alice flirting with the Duke, and Duke's like, I know, we like each other, but I can't touch you back. And I mean, like, and then Alice is like, that's okay, I'll do whatever I want. He's like, oh, how dare you tempt me with your womanly temptations? She's all like, ha ha, blue balling you. It's kind of melancholic because at the same time, they like each other, but they can't do anything past this point. And that's what I guess 80% of this series is about. There is there is some character development, but you'll get that later with the introduction of some otherworldly beings. If you watch the intro, you can see there's some bird-faced dude and some red-haired chick. That's cool.
so this is generally turning out to be it's an it's an actual like development, right? Like there's a slow character development going on. It's not. I mean, there are things happening in each episode, but there's an obvious like growth, significant like character growth or character sort of lore exposition going on in every
No.
episode. Is what I'm
No,
saying?
not
No?
at the moment. No, because the story only picks up later, like later on in the series when they introduce some the otherworldly wielding power people,
Okay.
but they probably won't show up for a good long time at the rate this anime is going. Maybe
Okay.
not because they show up in the intro and it's like I guess you're gonna introduce them, but even then it's like 0.1% progress. It's like hey I can do this, but we're gonna do this like hey, you got cursed? Here, let me show you some super cool magic. And they do magic, but the magic they do it's pretty episodic. Like it's a one-time thing. I can do this with that magic or whatever. It's like that's neat.
Okay.
But how does this help my curse? Oh, right now it doesn't. And so it keeps
Okay.
going on for that. And then later on, there's maybe one episode where it's like, hey, we're gonna talk about your curse. And like we're gonna hint at the witch who did this, and we're gonna have that witch show up, but they're not. Is it gonna progress the story a little bit? A little, but not enough to warrant any noticeable change until later on they drop a big chapter. So what I'm saying is this is a long series,
It's definitely a slower paced series. Is
very
what it
slow paced, but at least I guess it's better paced than Red Kanajo is what I'm saying.
is.
I hate the series, but yeah, there's definitely some character development and the plot moving along, but
Would you say it's even slower than something like Mahoutsukai no Yome or the Ancient Magus' Bride?
no, it's even slower than that. But
Okay, okay.
I guess I
Just
don't
giving people
mind the
like a
slow
sense
plot
standards.
because it's actually because of the amount of slice of life that's happening.
Mhm.
It's very, very gradual plot, but it's building up to something that makes sense. Not like Vertical where it takes like 20 to 30 chapters for something to happen. But then take one step forward, two steps back kind of thing. No, it's when plot happens, it happens, and there's a change in the how the story progresses, and you can feel it. It never backtracks, and it's how it goes in any way at all. So it's a meaningful plot progression, is what I'm saying.
Right, right. Yeah, I definitely get that again. I completely agree with you. It's like the pacing of the story is less important to me compared to whether the story sort of properly fits that pacing or like gives value to like why does it have that pacing, essentially, right? So yeah.
What
Obviously,
else?
what you think about the audio visuals?
I don't know why it's in 3D at all. Weird.
I
I don't get it.
don't
I
think
just
anybody
100%
knows,
don't get
but
it.
it's probably just like a try by JC
I
Staff
guess
to
it's
be
all like,
like,
hey, I
fuck it,
guess the
why not?
studios are like, hey, you want some
Let's try it
CG?
out.
I got some CG, and they're like,
For High Score Girl,
here.
we didn't really give a shit about that series either. So
It's like you know how studios are constantly saying like, well, we're trying out new things, right? We're trying out new technologies. It's probably like another sort of
this time
sacrificial lamb in this case.
we're trying out a new thing where we spend no money
I looked
Yeah,
it
instead
up.
of even
exactly.
spending some.
I, I
We're
looked it
giving it
up,
more
but
subsidies.
apparently there it was supposed to be a big deal that high score girl was in 3D because they said it was the only way it could bring out the appeal of the 3D arcade cabinets, which we meticulously recreated in 3D.
That
So I
doesn't
guess
make a lick of fucking sense.
I don't
Literally,
know.
like
I,
99% of arcade cabinets look the fucking same. Like,
well, that's what this anime news article said. When I
I
looked,
love
got,
Japan.
yeah, uh-huh.
but
I
I
literally
feel
would
like
have
that
sooner
was
believed
I
if
feel
they
like that was
just
probably
said that
them
the
just
art
making an
style
excuse
fucking.
after everybody was like, "Why would you make this look like this?" But
hey,
yeah.
but I know that's it's none of my business. I'm not an anime producer, so whatever.
But anyways, what about the audio stuff? BGM,
It looks. I
OP.
mean, the 3D looks weird. Alice's boobs look way too big, and whatever. And I guess some points are super bright. I I know there was a scene where in episode 3 where they have a date in the town, but everything looks so bright, and Alice looks weirdly super bright and out of place compared to the other NPCs.
NPC?
The other NPCs, the townsfolk walking around, and then here's Alice in all her
I
entire
think you're watching too much Isekai, dude.
Honestly,
Two-
honestly though, in terms of like 3D stuff or like poorly done 3D, I'm not talking about like Studio Orange, but like in terms of poorly done 3D, I wouldn't really blame Toast for using that word because honestly, when I see people like 3D
That's
like
true,
anime
walking
pieces in
around
the
like
background,
fucking
yeah,
Oblivion
they're just like
NPCs walking their
it's like
paths.
Lego. No, it's like watching
Hello.
Lego animated. It's like yeah. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on right now? But yeah, anyways, that's
how's the
fine.
3D? It's middling, I guess. I mean, I like this series enough that I'll get over it, but it's middling at best. It doesn't hurt my eyes too much. I'll get over it. It's not the best CG I've ever seen. Like Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Field, Part 3 Spring Song. That's some good 3D CG, or egregiously bad like
X-Arm?
X Arms. Yeah, yeah, X
Fuck,
Arms.
dude. I miss it so much, man.
But yeah, I'll get over it.
Okay.
Voice actor
And
wise,
yeah, voice actor.
who is Ayumi Mano? All I know her is she's that witch Natsumi from Day Alive, and that's about it. Apparently, this is her
Oh, she's
first
not
main
to me, huh?
role
Interesting.
of
So
anything.
this is Natsuki Hanae is the Duke of Death, very famous voice actor, obviously. Kamiya Hiroshi, what is it? Minase Inori. Let's see this. Uchida Yuma, obviously brother and fellow voice actor of Uchida Maya. What is it? Miko, Taichi Yo, Ono Yuki, Kaida Yuko. There's not too much, but obviously the names that do appear are
I
pretty
can't
famous here.
believe the old butler is voiced by Jiraiya, and we all know what happened to Jiraiya.
Oh my god, please. But anyways, any last words on the series?
Uh, it's good. It's
Mhm.
fine. It's fine. It's good. It's good. Slice of life about a guy who kill you with the touch, and his maid who likes him, and he likes her back, but they can't touch, so she's just flirty toward him, and he's like, I like you. Stop doing that. And she's like, no. And he's like, damn, okay.
No. Okay. Would you recommend the manga?
Of course, yes. Manga's very good. I,
Yeah.
I like the manga. I'm still reading it. Ongoing. It's very good. I like it. My
Okay.
complaints are obviously about the CG, but like whatever. It looks jank, but it's acceptable jank in how it's not going to be completed in 12 episodes. And I don't like that anymore. I like I maybe I'm an anime philanthropist nowadays, but I like my 26 full season animes nowadays.
That
2 to
word
3 seasons,
correctly,
I'll
Nowadays.
take it.
alright.
Yeah, I've always liked having the longer. Well, it's not even that I necessarily like having super long series, but I always my belief from the beginning has always been that a series should obviously fit the story it's telling, right? The series length should obviously fit the story it's telling. And once everybody kind of got into the habit of running the whole 24 episode season, the 12 episode season or whatever, not even like 11 or 13 or like 21 to 20 or 20 22 to 26 or whatever plus or minus OVAs, not even that, just like everybody's pretty freaking strictly like 12 plus OVA or 24 plus OVA or 24 plus 2 OVAs or something like that, right? It's like very few series diverge from that. I just think that it's not very healthy for the industry, but anyway. uh
So
Thank you. Yeah.
what I'll rate it? I'll rate it 8.5 out of 10. You should watch it. And then when you're done
Mhm.
with it, you're like, damn, this CG sucks. I'd rather just read the manga. So I
Yeah,
just
read the
read the
manga.
manga. But then
Yeah.
watch it. But no, we watch the anime, then read the manga. There you go.
Okay.
8.5, definitely should watch. It's good.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Toast. Again, that was the Duke of Death and his maid, or in the Japanese is Shinigami Botchan to Kuromeido. And with that, we are moving on to, I guess, me. I am going to quickly.
What you got, Spire?
I am going to cover an isekai for first time in I think a decent while, right? I
5 years.
in 5 years, yes. I usually don't cover isekais that much in this podcast. I think there are like some stuff where just like I just take the bullet, right? Because it's like a big enough name. I'm just like, yeah, I guess I have to do this one. But usually I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. We've been
Yeah,
taking the bullet, huh?
I've
Oh
been
no!
taking a
Don't make me
couple.
watch it. No.
Oh no!
Are you
Oh,
guys?
don't make
Hey,
me.
fuck
Oh
you
Oh
guys.
no! Don't
don't
make
make
me
me
watch this,
watch the
boys,
Apex
kids.
series, please.
No.
Oh no! I don't wanna. I don't wanna watch
These
that. No.
these guys are trying to frame me so goddamn hard every podcast. I swear to God.
Spire had to have a 30-minute conversation with me about why he should cover the series and not me. And I was like,
I
damn,
don't think I
okay, if you
had
wanted that
any sort
much.
of.
If you
I don't
want
think
it
I
that
had
bad.
any sort of conversation. But anyways, this is Genjitsushugi Yuusha to Oukoku no Oukoku Saikenki, also known as How Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom, also known as Reconstruction, the Elfrieden Kingdom Tales of Realistic Brave. But it is a
How can it be
uh,
realistic if it's an isekai, huh, Spire? Explain that.
that is true. This is a light novel original. Obviously, initially was a web novel from Shosetsuka Inaro, a famous sort of fan fiction slash light novel or web novel site. Became a light novel, did a couple of adaptations, and now it is here in anime form. And the what is it? The studio behind this is JC Staff. The
Again,
usual JC. Yeah, I mean, by this time, it's not uncommon for JC Staff to run, 2 to 4
I guess that's
series
why
per season.
they shafted Duke of Death. They're like, okay,
Fuck it, yeah.
we'll give you this 3D CG and we'll take this cool series.
I don't know if JC Staff at this point has any fucking rhyme or reason for what they shaft and what they don't.
Get it?
Yeah,
I think they just flip a fucking coin.
they just put money into stuff, but yeah, a lot of stuff going in. What is it again? JC Staff. The level of the visual quality level is very JC Staff. I don't know how else to describe it. It is extremely JC Staff. Like people might be like, "Oh, Spy, you're just being too obtuse, or you're just being a nerd. You're not describing anything with the." Trust me, when you see when you see more than 2 JC Staff series, you start being like, "Yeah, this is about what I expect from JC Staff."
That's not
Like,
true. Last year or the year before, they surprised us in the worst of fucking ways.
yeah, it can only go down. It's like a
Yeah,
monster.
well, no, that's the thing. It's like you think JC Staff, it's like, oh, okay, like it can't, like this is whatever. Like it's only up from here, and then every now and then
Yeah. It's like
they pull out a wild card, and they're
um,
like, actually, it could get worse.
it's like one of those value stock companies value stock companies where it's like you only maybe will see the progress like if you zoom out to 5 years. But like even within 1 year, you're just like, yeah, it stayed around the same quality. It stayed around the same price. That was about it. It rose about like 50 cents. That's about it. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
in
pretty much
my
JC Staff.
mind, like Index Season 3 looks exactly the same as Index Season 1. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, it looks the same.
Which, I mean,
you're
there's
not the
probably
only
some
person.
stuff that's changed, but in my brain,
It's an homage. It's an homage, bro. It's an
ah,
homage. But yeah, it's very JC Staff. It's very middling, I want to say. It does the job, but it's kind of there, and you're like, yeah, you made an anime kind of thing going on. Again, once you watch more than 2 JC Staff series, you start knowing what I'm talking about. Anyways, Nothing too impressive about BGM, OPED. Voice acting cast, what is this? Kobayashi Yusuke, not too bad. Minase Inori, obviously A tier. Hasegawa Ikumi, a little bit less so. With Arena, another a current A tier voice actress. Mao, I don't need to say anything. What else? Who else is here? Most of the other stuff is kind of whatever. Oh, some of the supporting characters are voiced by Hore Yui, Koyama Jun, Aimi. Wow, a lot of Kiko, wow, they brought a lot of like random kind of pretty big hitters in for the supporting roles. Ishikawa Yui, Kanemoto Hisako, what the fuck? Okay, so they brought a lot of random heavy hitters for the supporting roles, which is nice. You know, they spent a little bit of money on getting these lines in. Pretty nice. Other than that, not too much to say about audio visuals. Quick summary. This, as the title suggests, the guy gets isekai'd in, summoned by the king. He helps the king do reforms and deal with the demon lords and deal with statecraft and stuff like that. And the guy's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And instead of obviously going out and actually doing battle himself, the king is just like, I want you to become the king. I want you to essentially, rule the kingdom and make the reforms and do the statecraft and stuff like that. And then the rest of the story is just kind of like mini arcs, mini arcs slash bigger arcs, mainly bigger arcs. Yeah, I would say mainly bigger arcs, mainly bigger arcs. Based upon statecraft, based upon making the reforms, and a lot of it's kind of the mixture between obviously doing the whole like not Game of Thrones type, but it's like, yeah, I guess Game of Thrones type, where it's like they're kind of meeting with the heads of state and kind of being like, kind of doing the word fencing, right? Verbal fencing, kind of, oh, you don't want to do this, then I'll do this, blah blah, blah. Implication, oh, tension in the air, blah blah blah, thing going on. It's between that sort of statecraft and then the other sort of more menial statecraft where he implements stuff is a lot of the variant of, how in isekai these days, it's one of the standard things to put in to isekais is the Japanese person coming in and they're like, oh, I know how to make soap. And everybody's like, oh, yes. It's like, this will make us rich.
Don't
It's
you
like, this we have never
fucking
seen.
dare insult mine's legacy, okay?
Yeah.
I know
And
how to make
then
pancakes, and everyone loses their fucking mind.
freaking shit. Yeah,
You
exactly.
people couldn't think
So
to grind up the food you eat all the time?
yeah.
Just why make pancakes when you can just eat the wheat raw?
Yeah,
Why make
exactly.
pancakes when you
We
just
can just put it
throw
to-
out the rest of the food?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like a variant of that, the stuff that we see so much in these anime. But in terms of more, but it turns into a variant of implementing specific like governmental stuff and like civil stuff, where it's just like or societal stuff, right? Where it's like they're running like an entertainment program for the people, or they're trying to set up construction, or they're trying to do like have a proper like actual like taxation system or stuff like that. And obviously, I sound like a nerd saying all of this, but I do enjoy. I really. The problem is, it's kind of like the after story syndrome for me. Where, oh, by the way, that was pretty much the end of the summary. It's pretty much the statecraft, but in the two flavors. One flavor being the whole like Game of Thrones type, meet with heads of state, talk with heads of state, butt heads, and then the other flavor is do the menial statecraft thing, which is again the variant of the Japanese person coming into the feudal society and being like, we got new technology, but instead of new technology, it's like, here's a taxation system, and everybody's like, oh, what the fuck? I've never heard of this before in a show like that. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Yeah. So the reason why I like this sort of stuff so much, even if it does become kind of cheesy in the way I described, where it's like Japanese man comes in and tells people that having entertainment for the masses is really good. Um, Obviously, it's like a cheesy premise, but it kind of this approach rather appeals to me much more than just the sort of very, again, green eggs and ham level of statecraft that I always see. Not even in Japanese manga and anime. I won't blame Japanese media for this or culture for this, although that's what I do a lot of the other times. But even in uh, even in just Western stuff, or not even Western stuff, but everywhere, right? Whether it's anywhere from China to the EU to here, the way that people describe and write statecraft is always, always, always this very green eggs and ham. I'm the general, I'm moving stuff around, and then I have to marry with a daughter, but then stuff happens and between the heads of states, and then blah 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 drama, and then I rape her, and then she assassinates the old king, and all this sort of very just it's essentially a soap opera, right? It's essentially a soap opera, but done with heads of state. That is what a lot of simpler literary statecraft has evolved into these days. And I really enjoy this sort of more menial approach that this series takes, even though it is ultimately at its core cheesy. Even though it is cheesy the way I described it and the way that it is, it still takes a different tack that is not just Game of Thrones. Oh, you're the king, no, I'm the king. I'm gonna marry into your family, blah 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 blah. This whole bullshit, and actually just goes into the day-to-day details and how that actually affects society and governmental fucking structures, which is actual statecraft. Statecraft is not just a soap opera,
whatever,
right?
nerd.
I apologize.
Show me a
It's the
fucking
same-
dragon.
Yeah. It's the same as me liking the after story, right? It's not. I'm not that interested in the whole. Will they? Won't they? Are you going to pick the main girl or not? Of course you're going to pick the main girl. Like fuck off, right? But once the after story part comes in, and authors actually have to think outside the box and think outside of the usual structures that have been set in the rom com, right? Then it gets definitely a little bit more fun. Again, in this one, it's still a little bit confined by the fact that it is the statecraft that they're suggesting is like a variant of the author's just like, what do we have in our modern society? And the Japanese main character is like, yeah, I know this. This is how a modern society works. And everybody in the feudal isekai is like, what? I've never heard of that before. And the cycle. But I do like the whole kind of going through the motions of that, going through the just wait until these motherfuckers learn about flooding. Yeah, I do like the going through. Even with the statecraft, I do like the more subdued approach that realist hero Genjitsushugi takes over just the whole who's gonna kill who, or I'm gonna ride in on horseback and take over your territory, or I'm gonna some sort of incest arc that never goes anywhere, or some sort of incest arc that ends up with the death of a whole clan, or whatever all this shit is, right? It takes a little bit more of a subdued approach than that, which is also quite appreciated. So that's another thing. So that, it's pretty. So all in all, just off of that, I would probably recommend the series. I think I would recommend the light novel a little bit more than the anime, because the anime has this weird. It kind of focuses on the more short-term comedic shticks more than a general sort of subdued tone. Like, this is happening. These are what the steps that they're going through. These are the sort of character introspections, retrospections. Like the light novel kind of goes in pretty hard on laying that sort of tone down. It's not. It has comedy on the side, like as a little bit of appetizer, as a little bit bonus. But for the most part, it is very kind of mellow, quiet, like, oh, I'm going to do this. These sorts of developments happen. These characters kind of came in, did this introspection, had this interaction, blah, blah, blah. And it was much less, the anime almost kind of seems like a Marvel adaptation of the light novel where there just has to be random kind of jokes, or there kind of has to be random non sequiturs like thrown in here and there. And I'm not a huge fan of kind of upping the tone like that, to be honest. I sometimes you just gotta have things quiet, right? So I'm not a big fan of this tone. I don't blame the anime necessarily for taking this tone, or I do blame the anime, but I can empathize with why they take the tone because that's just how a lot of freaking these sorts of like rom-com isekai anime are trying to set their tone these days because they're trying to give value episode by episode, right? So they're kind of just being like, okay, here's a harem, and then here's the isekai power, and then also, right, what else do we need, right? The fucking jokes, because it needs to be comedy, right? So throw them in every once in a while, and it's a very like one size fits all solution. uh, Again, I empathize with why they're doing that. I don't like what they're doing, anyways, but it is the current
Just
state of the industry. So
Spire, why read the anime? We can just watch the manga instead.
you just read the manga that's going to be axed in like 20 chapters as a
Probably.
promotional material. But yeah, I would personally just recommend reading the light novel again. I don't really like the we gotta shove in this joke or this non sequitur or this slapstick in every 10 minutes or 7 minutes or whatever. I'm not a big fan of that. If you do like that, if you're a huge, Marvel fan for and them shoving in jokes every 5 seconds, then you do you and watch the anime as well. But overall, the franchise series itself is pretty decent, and I won't say it's a unique approach, but it's certainly an uncommon approach to statecraft, and one that I appreciate much more than 99% of statecraft authors, statecraft authors out there just writing stuff about incest, that people riding in on horses and burning villages, and then torturing their the defeated king, or all this stupid heads of state only stuff. But yeah, that was my review of how the realist hero how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom, also known as Genjitsushugi Yuusha no Oukoku Saikenki. And that, last but not least,
But Spire, let me ask you this:
yes.
Are you finally happy that there's an anime protagonist that's just as smart as you?
I don't know if I would call myself smart, but I don't know
Or
if
or
I would
or
even call this guy that smart, because all he's doing is just copying stuff from Japan, really.
so he's
But
not as smart as the Mahoka protagonist, is what you're saying?
the the manga protagonist doesn't even need to be smart though, right? Doesn't he have that fucking power where he just the like disintegrate stuff or whatever, right? Like, you don't need to be smart. You just disintegrate whatever the fuck you don't like, anyways, right? So, fuck it. But yeah, that was my series. And last but not least, Dark.
Wowee. Hey, I have a series called The Case Study of Vanitas. And it is being done by Bones.
Yes, the Bone
Here,
series.
he stole your thunder.
Yeah, I mean, I also kind of, in this case, sold Spires. Well, actually, no, not really.
Well, I don't know about that.
So, yeah, this series is about vampires, and a special vampire was born under a blue moon
Wait,
named
wait, wait,
Vanitas.
wait, wait. Sorry. Can I? This is a series that Utada Hikaru liked, right? Or she was just like, I read all the novels or whatever it was, right? And I'm composing the music for
I
it.
forget who else
Was it?
said that they liked.
Yes.
There was someone else that said they liked it.
Yeah.
He was into like
Anyway, sorry.
BL shit.
Mhm.
But I can yeah, so it's like the backstory is there was a vampire that was born under a blue moon and he made like a cursed grimoire because everyone like kind of like all the other vampires were like, ew, you're icky, your eyes are blue and shit, that's like cringe.
True.
And so he made like a grimoire to curse all of them, and now for some reason there's this new guy who's calling himself Vanitas who's saying he's human and he's using the grimoire to essentially like cure curses on vampires. And so like, you know, this thing is like going around and cursing, or someone or something is going around and cursing the names and twisting their names, like their true names, into something else. Essentially
know
like
what?
giving them a name that turns into a disease, whether lycanthropy or something.
You know what I've been thinking? What is a grimoire anyway? Is the Death Note a grimoire?
I don't know. I don't know what actually like
Isn't
constitutes a
Grimoire?
grimoire.
Isn't
Like,
Grimoire
big
just
ass
like
Is
it's just an occult tome? It's an occult tome, right?
guess,
so
yeah.
That's all it is.
the Death Note is a grimoire.
This thing
you could
opens
say?
up and it turns into like the fucking any given like what is it, like scholar or fucking summoner's book in Final Fantasy with like the thing that comes off the side and everything.
Does that mean that the Declaration of Independence is a grimoire?
No, I
So
literally
the
just said it's an
Declaration of
occult
Not a
tome.
magic
is
spell, dude.
occultic.
What are you
I don't
talking
know,
about?
man.
Well, wait.
pretty occult.
If you watch all of the what are those movies with Nicolas Cage, National
Yeah,
Treasure,
that's what I'm saying.
The National Treasure.
technically that does get pretty occult.
Yeah, Toast. It's not even a fucking book.
It's
It's a
piece
page
of paper.
At best,
It's
it's
a
a
page out of the
scroll.
book.
No,
Alright,
at
it's
best, it's a scroll,
It's
right?
It's a
page
scroll,
out of the
yeah.
book called America's Constitution.
It's the Elder
I suddenly-
Scroll.
What are you talking about?
I'm suddenly imagining like Nicolas Cage or even Toast, just like it's like fucking. There's some like mommy or something like that in front of him. And he's like
The
"Eat
true-
this," and he like
the
opens,
true
he
declaration.
unscrolls.
Yeah, like everything that we've seen, everything that
Yeah.
we've seen is actually an imitation of the Declaration of Independence. The
Yeah.
Declaration of
Like, he-
Independence is actually stored in a human skin-bound book.
No, he unscrolls the Declaration of Independence in front of like the devil, and it just like flashes the light and defeats it. Like,
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Declaration of
Yeah.
Independence is
Hell yeah,
actually
brother.
housed the same exact way as an Elder Scroll. Like, you open it up, you
Exactly.
try and read it, you go fucking
Yeah,
blind.
you go blind.
see the
you know
future.
anything.
Why do you think they fought a war over this kind of thing?
True.
It's definitely got some occult magic involved.
Yeah, that's why.
I've
Rev-
played
revolu-
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
Okay.
revolutionary ideas like freeing all the slaves for that time. Oh
That
boy,
didn't-
that's
that
that'll
is not the Declaration of
definitely
Independence.
That
shake
was
the world.
not even on the table when they wrote that.
How do you know? Why do you think we had a civil war later on, as predicted in
That's
I
the
wonder-
true.
Declaration of
As
Independence?
predicted
I
in the
wonder why.
scrolls.
I wonder
Oh
why
my
the
God.
Civil War happened. Maybe
It was
maybe
because,
some sort of
listen, it was
history class might have
because
taught
the
you.
founding fathers read the scrolls, saw the future, and knew these were the decisions they needed to make to secure the brightest future.
Exactly.
I think this is a good question for Nicolas Cage to answer. To be honest,
Anyway,
World
So
World
Vanitas
War
has
One?
nothing to do with that.
yes. Keep going.
Flash
Sorry.
forward to Paris. I don't know what time frame this is supposed to take place in. I mean, it's like the timeline is largely irrelevant because it's not.
Isn't it just thematic again? Thematic around Victorian England or some shit.
It's like
that's
Victorian
usually how it
steampunk
is.
stuff, but there's no
the
real there's
usual
no real
shit.
like time frame because it
It's
doesn't
just,
matter because it's
industrial
steampunk
shit.
magic bullshit.
Yeah.
So why would they ever go beyond that? They have like airships and stuff. So
Yeah, bro. Dude, Zeppelins are all you need. Zeppelins will never fail you, okay?
I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, you know, when you start going that route of like tech and magic, there's not many other routes to go. You know, unless you go Boruto airship style and you have like fucking ninja scrolls to navigate your fucking airship. But I digress. So yeah, so like Victorian Paris, like fucking steampunk. Show opens up. Woman's freaking out. Our tan man helps her. She seems sick. And then, he quote unquote saves her from Vanitas, not realizing that he's not there to kill her as a vampire. He's there to help her. And so he opens his book, says the magic word, and lo and behold, she's healed. And that's like largely sort of like the thing with him so far. He kind of just like does things on a sort of whim. He doesn't seem to have a like end game, so to say. He just kind of wants to essentially like, well, I mean, his end game is literally like, I want to know who is like doing all this shit and like causing all this like chaos amongst vampires and like fucking them up, and stop that person, just to like stop it at the root, essentially. And so him and our tan fella, Noe, are kind of like just traveling around trying to figure that out now. And that's kind of where it is. There hasn't been a ton with the extended supporting cast. Really, there's only been primarily only been Vanitas, Noe, and most recent episode Dominique, Noe's like childhood friend, the vampire. And just as like an establishment thing, vampires in this world, literally like their only thing is they have bloodline techniques, essentially. They don't need, it doesn't seem like they need to feast on human blood. I don't know if they can turn people. Nothing happens to them as far as I understand in sunlight. There seems to largely be no reason not to be a vampire, except for like a vampire like specific ailments.
So
And also like
what makes them vampires other than they're called vampires?
their
Exactly.
again, like their bloodline technique things. They're very much
Oh,
like they're vampires
they're the
based on more on the
wait.
concepts. It seems to be more on the concepts of
Blood magic.
blood magics. They
Are they
can drink
actually
blood and gain
bloodbenders?
like sustenance from it.
Okay.
I don't know. Like in the most recent episode, like Noe, like I mean they have like superior physical like abilities, but like in the most recent episode, like Noe, his family is able to essentially like read minds based on like consuming blood. Or just like see through whoever's like blood they're drinking. Like they're able to just go through their memories essentially. So it is just like magic bullshit. Like they're not really trying to do science behind it, and it's also like I don't know. There's like some backstory where like something was like some biblical proportion like event was happening, like some Babel like fucking cataclysm something happened to the human race, and like some fucking alchemist was like, I'm just gonna rewrite all the rules and make a fucking vampire dimension where humans can actually live as non-humans.
Nice.
So there's some shit with that, which is pretty neat. That there's like, they go to like, essentially, fuck, what is it called? It's like, I don't know. They give it just like some other title, and then it's just Paris, which is just like a mirror of the world essentially. But like the sky is always darkened and red and has like a fucking spider web across it, and there's just fucking bats flying everywhere. but it is more of like, it seems to be more of like those types of vampires in the sense of like, you know, they want to do more with like the names. I imagine there will be more shit with like bodies of water or something and like crossing or like entering like premises without being invited in. Stuff like that
Right.
more so than, you know, just simple like, yeah, they die if there's sunlight. Like um which honestly I like. I hope they get more into like the name stuff, but I don't know if they will. It just seems to be largely like a way for them to, you know, like trudge along with like, oh, how are like these curses coming together? And it's like, why is it affecting vampires? And it's like, well, someone literally cursing their names, so it would only affect them. And yeah, that's pretty much, that seems to be premise wise largely the what we're getting ourselves into. As far as audio visuals, they're pretty good. There sometimes where it's like kind of eh, and then there's sometimes where it's like very good. Especially with more action scenes, it's quite good. They really only use one scene so far, essentially, that they have done for like Vanitas fucking opening the book and like, you know, chanting the magic words and then healing the person. Which is like whatever, as long as there's enough stuff in between that, enough action, enough like context of like a fight, etc., etc. And then I guess like other than that, it's very much like the Bones serious, like slapstick moments, like pretty boys doing shit type stuff that you'd come to expect, essentially. That you'd see, you know, like Bungo in a way. Though this has a
Season 3
lot.
never.
Huh?
Season 3 never.
Yeah. If only. Wait, no. Didn't we get season 3? I think we got season
Did we?
3. We didn't. Yeah, we didn't
Well,
get season 4.
season
We got
4
season 3 in
never.
a movie. Season 4
Yeah.
is never gonna fucking happen. Very sad. My boy Gatsby needs to come back. Anyway. So yeah, it's very much like some of that stuff, though, which is exactly, I guess, what I expected with vampire boys, but with female characters in it. Dominique is very much a femdom character.
Yeah, shocker.
There is a scene where if you see in this thing that character in the background with like the young lad, the white like general's outfit or whatever. There is a scene where Vanitas straight up in the middle of like after their fight fucking wall slams her and then just like makes out with her for a solid like 15 to 20 seconds for some reason. And it's just like complete like personality change. So I guess it's very much like that idea. Like in the first episode, the female vampire who's like cursed and turning, while Noah is like trying to help her and like take her away, thinking that Vanitas is an enemy. He doesn't know she's like cursed, and she fucking like while he's like trying to look for Vanitas turning away from her, from behind she fucking rips open the collar of his shirt, and it's very much exactly like what you'd imagine when she bites him. Like they're full on like, yeah, here's your like fucking fan service scenes. And yeah, so I mean, hey, pretty good, you know? All of that stuff mixed together along with like the Bones like style of, you know, this type of shit and like the style changes for like the comedic tones. So far has been pretty cool. And the more, honestly, the more they get into like inner workings of like vampires and like vampire society and stuff like that is pretty nice, especially because this doesn't seem to be anything like what we had expected, where it's like the human vampire war. It's like vampires were essentially just like second class citizens, so people don't want like other people to find out. But there doesn't seem to actually be like a sort of fucking hunt down the vampires, like burn them. It's more of like there is like bad shit going on vampire to vampire right now, or like with this curse stuff, and they have to figure that out, which is nice. So
Right, right. So, how do I say this? I know that at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff still appeal to women, for Jewish stuff like that.
oh,
But
absolutely, yeah. Like that's like it's still when I forget who you had brought up. I don't think it was Utaru Hikaru who had liked this series.
yeah,
It was someone else who had liked the series, and I think I literally said it's like, well, not exactly a reliable fucking source.
Wasn't it fucking Yuki Kajira who's doing the music for the series? Like,
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yuki
yeah, yeah.
Kajiura is composing the music. Kajiura is a self-professed fan of the original manga who has been reading every volume as they came out since the manga began.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I mean, heck, it is pretty entertaining, but it is very much like it's another step into the abyss, like past Bungo, in a way. Like I mean, I feel like
Bungo was pretty light on it, all
yeah.
things considered. Like, there are definitely moments in it, like especially fucking like season one's ED. Was it the ED or was it the OP? I don't
No, it
remember.
was the ED. I mean, the
But like,
OP was pretty gay too in some parts,
yeah,
but
like
I
there
mean,
were definitely moments in
it,
Bungo that were like,
see,
this is gay as hell.
I'm
But like
not talking about
this
it
is a
from an
series,
aspect of like,
definitely a
oh, this
Fujoshi
is
series.
gay. It's like, it's not even that it's gay. It's that it's heterosexual from the other angle in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, well, I can't relate to this at all anymore. So there is that where it does start to step into like, okay, this is like really only for a female audience right now. Or you're like, because even like the makeout thing with like Vanitas to this like strong and like aggressive female character, like that's for like you can see like okay maybe for a guy, but going into this series knowing what I know, I'm just like I know exactly who this is for, who this scene's for.
I mean, it's by a Fujoshi author, so
Yeah. So but it is. I mean, hey, it's been pretty interesting. It's pretty fun. If you like Victorian shit, if you like, maybe they'll get into more steampunk stuff. If you like The Boys, then this is for you. If you don't, then it's definitely not.
Yeah. It's definitely on.
I mean, really, this does make me just want Bungo. Like, I'm just like, fuck, man.
Honestly,
Come
I
on
think
now.
I'll be able to. I think I'll be able to say this is an acquired taste because you have to be. How do I say this without being offensive to people? Although we're already past that point, but it's like,
Fujoshis aren't people, so
well, not but to like memers, right? Who are just like who just look at any sort of like sharp face and they're like, "Oh, fucking, this is completely useless." Like there are plenty of series that are that are very on the nose and quite cheesy and kind of go off in the wrong direction, right? Like
I
again,
mean, it's not like this
Callouts.
isn't doing anything. Like
No,
this is
what I'm
still a
saying, no, 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 no,
series. Like it's still telling stuff. It's not.
I'm not using Vanitas as the first
No,
example.
I
My
know. I'm
first
just
example
saying
would be
in regards to that. Like this, I will say that. Like this is not just like, oh, here's a fucking like here's like they're fucking biting each other. Now they're fucking
having sex,
doing
yeah,
some
in the
yeah.
bathroom or something. Yeah,
Fucking
well,
wall slamming. Now they're fucking each other.
the
Maybe they're gay.
yeah,
Maybe they're not. There's a girl here too.
yeah. So the example I wanted to make, the example I was going to finish was that there are series that are a little bit more like probably something like what was that fucking series where there was like that one girl and then the multiple like the Olympic gods or whatever, the Greek gods, that fucking series, and like the first episode had the girl riding on a unicorn or some bullshit like that. That fucking anime or like Yuri on Ice, I would say isn't the most egregious example, but it's still pretty on the nose, and the story isn't worth what.
It gets a lot more egregious later on,
Yeah.
I would say.
Um, but it had quite a solid start at the beginning, and then
Yeah.
it kind of went into the whole like, oh man, you need to be y- like it's like embracing a lover, and then the Russian dudes all getting into the bath with the other dudes, and it's like, oh man, we're all buddies, right? Blah blah blah, blah. And you know
Yeah,
that
and
thing is
see,
very on the
look,
nose.
my
But there's a
advice in
difference
that
between that and
regard is like,
Vanitas, is what I'm saying.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, this shit, like, this hasn't really done a lot of like BL stuff yet, so I'm not sure if that's gonna get like, if they're gonna do more there. Because like I said, like so far, it's like they didn't do like any BL stuff, and then Venice is making out with some chick, and then Noah is like biting his fucking childhood friend's neck, and she's into it. So I don't know. Like I don't know if it's gonna get more into BL stuff or what, but so far it's been more of like a more like a buddy cop thing too, which in some sense is like kind of unfortunate when you think about it. In a way, it subverted my expectations that I thought this was going to be at least a little bit gayer, but it's not. Not quite as yet.
Just
So it
wait.
certainly, so it certainly does have like fan service like for the male characters. So there's that.
But
Yeah,
it's very yeah it's again it's an acquired taste, and it requires one to have a I wouldn't say it's like Mensa level. Like, you don't have to have like super big brain, but you need to have a couple of brain cells to rub together to notice the difference between a series that has appeals for the female audience but is also telling an okay story behind it versus one that just is like story is kind of fucking whatever. And then on top of that, it's just layering on the appeal to women. Like there's a difference between that, just as much as there is a difference between an isekai slash harem series that may have a pretty like decent story or like even character development or whatever at the end of the day, but still has like the appeals to men versus a series that's just like, yeah, the story is kind of whatever, and then they just pile on the isekai power fantasy and the boobs and the harem and stuff like that again, which we've trashed plenty of times on this series on this podcast as well, right? So
yeah.
it's the same treatment for these sorts of Joshi series. But anyways, any last words on the case studies of
Who would you
Vanitas?
recommend it to, Dark?
I don't know. It's tough, right? Because it's that's the thing. Like, like Fujoshi's for sure. Um,
I mean,
Would you
they've already
would,
read the manga.
yeah,
So
that's the thing. It's like I don't need to tell them that. Um,
would you
but
recommend it to
it's.
muscular men like us?
I mean, see, that's the thing, though, right? Because like
Muscular.
personally, like I said, personally, I'd prefer for it to be gayer. Um, you know, uh,
he's turning.
dude, that ship sailed with fucking Genshin. Like we said, the Chinese fucking uh psyop worked. Like it's
They
over.
turned him gay.
Yeah. Though who knows? Maybe really it started with Spire making me watch fucking what was that series? one with the fucking cards, thinking that it was like a fucking sports one.
Furu?
Yeah,
Chihaya
Chihaya and it's like, wait a minute, this is a. Hey, wait a minute, this isn't sports at all.
it's like the fucking hentai all over again. Wait a minute, this is
Wait a
sports
second.
series. Yeah, but yeah.
This isn't
So
Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
That one? Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. So there's that. Because I mean, like imagine if like take the series like Skate. Imagine if that had like women in it. Oh,
Not Adam.
yeah. Imagine if instead of Adam, it had like that lady cop.
Yeah.
You know,
Cringe.
like get out of here. I need the fucking gay vampire skater. That's what I'm here for. But yeah, so like that's kind of the unfortunate part. I mean, that's like what I was saying, where it's like it's very much like these things are tooled for a female audience, so you have to be able to like know that going in. Because even like Bungo has a lot of shit for a female audience, yeah,
Mhm.
but it's also gay. So, you can salvage some stuff there. With this, I feel like it's harder to, in that sense. But I mean, that's just me.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not-
perspective of a gay man. You get it here.
You'll get half here. But yeah, I don't know. Weird. But
Well-
see, like that's the thing, because it's like it's so it's strange because you would think that like it being a straight like pairing or like relationship like thing or action going on here, that you would be able to like essentially like not feel like this isn't something for you in that regard. But since it's
No,
like you can
You
kind
can-
of tell
can-
like
you can always tell.
yeah,
you can
like
always
this is
tell in the
this
Fujoshi
is
series where it's
for
like-
yeah, like
This part's not for you, bro.
yeah, it's like this might be an assertive male character, but there's like details
right now.
there that you're like, this isn't like this is not insert, and this is sure shit not for your pleasure. Like you're like,
Just saying.
damn.
Like this is yeah.
and yeah. But also, I mean, there's also like the femdom shit in the most recent episode of like Noe getting put in a collar and et cetera, et cetera. So
Hmm.
What? So what? Dark, in your opinion, how does this compare to the greatest Fujoshi material of all time?
what do you mean in that regard? I don't
How
really
does-
watch
how do-
Fujoshi shit though, so like
How does it compare to the greatest Fujoshi manga of all time, The Gray Man?
I thought
Wait,
you were
not
gonna
the
say
Gray-
like
not-
Hitalia. Is Hitalia
not- not-
Fujoshi?
Yeah, it is.
Or is that
Yeah,
just
Not the
like
Gray Man.
absolutely
is.
I meant D and Angel. That's the one. Whoops. or Loveless. One of those.
I'm gonna be honest with you,
Those
I
are the
don't
ones
know
I
what
know.
those two even are.
Good.
So
Don't worry
I
about it.
can't speak on that.
Anyways.
But yeah,
Alright.
final thoughts. Give us fucking Bungo season 4.
That's what we got from
I'm
it.
waiting. Like Bungo's got some good female characters. I would say better than this series as well.
I
So
just
you've
want
got
to point
Bungo.
out, the series is directed by Tomoyuki Itamura, who, if you don't know, is probably the person who's directed the most Monogatari series besides you know, the man, the myth, the legend,
Right.
uh
Yes.
Aki Kishimbo.
Right.
So, you know, some talented people on this show.
I mean, this series has a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
It's no surprise that not only does it have a lot of money, it has a lot of people, like big people coming into it. It's but and it's probably going to make a lot of money because this sort of stuff sells. But in terms of like the value to the reader, obviously that depends on you. Is I think what Dark is getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Depends
I
on what
mean,
you want from it.
like I said, there are some pretty solid audio visuals. What you'd expect,
Right.
and just overall like some stuff. So, if you want to see that, you like vampire lore, Victorian stuff, maybe you like steampunk, maybe you like a good grimoire, then this is for you.
Yep.
And that's kind of it, it's not, I mean, hey, look, it's not bad, right? Like, it isn't bad,
Mm-hmm.
but also
Okay.
I like Bungo Stray Dogs, so give me that.
Okay. All right. So thank you, Dark, again for covering the case study of Vanitas or Vanitas Karte, right? I think
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like Vanitas no
Vanitas no Karte.
Karte.
Karte. The case study of Vanitas again made by this manga original, made by the same artist. She also did Pandora Hearts. She did a couple of other stuff, but yeah, check this out if you want to see maybe a pretty okay story. Obviously there's going to be the usual appeal to women, but not everything can be made for men, right? So
Wrong.
pretty wrong.
Yeah,
Everything
that's
has
where you're wrong, buddy. I would
buddy.
argue Bungo in some ways.
What is the manliest anime ever made?
Ooh,
None, because all anime is cringe and gay.
Yeah. I think that's not a topic we want to discuss right
I
now.
mean,
But anyways,
wouldn't you say that's the most manly then?
Yeah, it's
There's
fire.
the most man there for it.
that's true. You get so much value from one
so
series. There's
mu-
just so many
it's
dudes.
so manly because there's so
Literally
many
has
men.
men in the series, bro.
In fact, there's only men because
Yeah,
that's how
it's
manly it is.
raining men. Yeah, it is raining men.
You know what? You know when you go to the gym to work out and pick up women, the only people that compliment you on
should
your
not
muscles are
go.
actual men.
Yeah.
You should
That's
absolutely
I don't know
never
about
go to a
that.
gym to pick up women.
Anyways, we should move on. But
Who do you work out for other than to pick up chicks?
all right, can we move
Work
on,
out for my
please?
boys,
Exactly.
We actually need to move on.
Nice
All
lats, bro.
right, Toast, please. So we do need to move on to the news, and it's going to be relatively standard news, I think, this time around here. A couple of people, or not much in the way of people news either. So I'll just quickly get on with it. First, details of the 5th annual Manga Jiman contest, in which UK artists are encouraged to create their own original strips, have been announced by the Embassy of Japan. The closing date for entries is November 15th. The manga entries should make some reference to light. The theme is open to interpretation.
Like
I know
Yagami.
Like Kingdom Hearts light. What we're
Kingdom
talking about?
Hearts is like.
I'm sure some stupid retard is gonna end his panel with this shit is so lit, oh my god, or some bullshit, and then that's
Dab.
retard. Yeah, dab. Yeah. Anyways, good luck to all the people participating. On a similar scope, the Japanese government's Agency of Cultural Affairs on July 12th announced on July 12th that the four studios will participate, or sorry, the Japanese government's Agency of Cultural Affairs announced on July 12th the four studios that will participate in the latest round of its quote unquote anime no Tani program to train young animators. Who the fuck taught Anime News Network people to write? I mean, not even articles, just write in general. Like, can we have proper ordering of words here? Come on. Okay.
No.
Anyways,
Or what if
Uh,
they're ESL?
that's even worse. The studios in Magica Digital Scape, Studio L, Production Plus H, and L'Esprit will each produce animation project from 7 to 10 minutes in length. The works will aim to raise the skill level of existing animators and educate aspiring animators. This is not what we need. This
That's
is not what we
exactly
need.
what the industry needs. It just needs more.
Ah,
It just needs
uh,
more
more
animators.
subsidies for more supply because we just don't have enough supply. We never have enough supply. I wonder why. I
Yes,
wonder why
yes.
nobody wants to come into this industry.
There is no way you could pay animators ever.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, the initiative is the latest iteration of the Agency of Cultural Affairs quote unquote Young Animator Training Project, which aims to train young animators on the job. Yes, this is the exact problem. The agency launched that project in 2010 under the quote unquote Anime Mirai name, with the aim of fostering the growth of domestic animation studios and tackling the concern that more of the Japanese animation process is being outsourced overseas. Yes,
I
this
wonder
is exactly the
why.
problem. Yeah.
That's the problem. It's
Clearly,
going overseas.
it's
There's
just
no
because
other problem.
Yeah.
it's clearly just because that the Japanese animators aren't good enough.
Yeah, that's true. They just can't catch up for some magical reason. After 50 fucking years of doing well, they're just like, no, we'll just give up. It's over, guys.
They
But
just need
yeah,
more training.
yeah, more subsidies for training. We need more people in this industry. Anyways, yeah, good luck to the studios, I guess. Next, this is just something I want. This is almost gonna go out to my fucking callouts. NFT game sales and development company DoubleJump.Tokyo announced on Friday that it is supporting animation studio Gonzo's quote unquote Samurai Cryptos, a new project that will use blockchain and NFT technology. And both companies reveal that the first NFT release is scheduled for this fall. Blah blah. Blah 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 blah. What is this? Gonzo president Ichikawa Shinichiro said that the project will create quote unquote a new era of animation for the NFT era with Japanese samurai, focus on the words cipher, decentral, and solidarity. The project will feature designs by Kobayashi Makoto, who did stuff for Last Exile, Mobile Suit Gundam ZZ, and Chiba
I
Shinori, who
see.
did
You mean Double
that.
Zeta?
Sorry, Double Zeta. Why the fuck did I blink out like that? Basilisk, Escape the Infinity, and Ijima Hiroya, who did Afro Samurai and Mazinger Z Infinity. Blah blah. Please, please do not. Oh, please do not integrate NFT and cryptos into anime. I beg of you.
I
Just.
Oh,
mean,
Oh.
i-
Oh.
isn't this just like Gonzo like getting a quick buck? Hasn't Gonzo been dying for fucking like a decade now? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty
Gonzo's
sure
kind of going
they've
along the
just been
same
like
ways.
selling off their IP and shit, right? So
Yeah, I mean, it's the same, similar. I mean, I think honestly, um, Sunrise is probably going to be in a similar situation in like 5 years now, right? They're not really making anything either, if I
yeah,
remember correctly.
probably.
Other than like they like make Gundam stuff every once in a while, and then like
Yeah,
who's the fucking studio that has like a tomato farm, like the duty free tomato farm in the airport or
Dynex.
whatever it is?
that's fucking
The
Gainax,
Gynex,
brother. The
yeah.
legends themselves.
Ah, tomatoes. But yeah, I think some of these teams are going to go the same way. But please, please do not do NFC, especially like the demographic. Just like actually think of the children for once in your fucking life. Please do not integrate NFT cryptos into this. Please, I beg of you. But yeah, fuck these guys. Anyways, moving on. On the awards front, The Harvey Awards, which honors outstanding work in comics and sequential art, revealed its list of nominations for its year's awards on Friday. The nominees for the best manga category include Urasawa Naoki's Asadora, Gakuketo's Boys Run the Riot, Fujimoto Tatsuki's Chainsaw Man, Ito Junji's Remina, and Endo Tatsuya's Spy Family. So this best manga category started in 2018, blah blah. But maybe check some of these series out, and good luck to all the nominees. Oh yeah, unlike the Eisner Awards and other awards in the North American comic book industry, the Harvey Awards are nominated and selected by the comic book professionals themselves. So pretty interesting picks there. This is just like something I want to kind of ask, I guess, you guys. But so Crunchyroll announced on Friday that it has begun streaming the live action series of Natsuki Kizu's Given manga. The first episode is available on the service. So Given is like the guitar BL series or whatever, and it was apparently, oh right, it was Noitama in a blog. Apparently, the anime is the first anime based on a boys' love manga to air on Noitama, which is actually pretty surprising, given how quirky Noitama is in the first place. But I guess that's just it may be a step too far for Japan up until now. But does Crunchyroll? How many live action series does Crunchyroll actually do? Because this is honestly the first one I've like heard, really, right? Have they done a bunch of other live action stuff? Like
Uh,
added them to the catalogs and everything? I don't
I'm
think they
sure.
did, right?
I'm sure they've had like one or two, but I feel like this is
Yeah. This is the first
probably
like actual name one, right?
yeah.
There's
This is
how many?
probably the first one that has like weight behind it. I guess.
Yeah, the
I don't
one
know.
that isn't like a complete no name, but I'm just like I'm looking at I'm just like, wait a minute. Why is the first fucking, series just like a random, guitar BL series? Like is it what? Okay. Like there's a bunch of other live action stuff that's also very good in our manga adaptations, but apparently not. Like, I'm not saying you have to add like live action Kaguya-sama. That's not. I don't care about that one way or the other. But it's like there are plenty of other good live action adaptations out there, right? It's like I don't know why those weren't added to the catalog, but no, this apparently it is what it is. Last piece with a couple of non-person use here. US-based localization company Kamaki Media Incorporated announced on Monday that it is partnering with Japanese publisher Shogakukan to release several of Shogakukan's manga titles in English digitally. The titles will be available worldwide outside of Japan. Yes, this is what we need. Please. Obviously, I don't necessarily trust these people to price or do stuff at reasonable prices once it gets big enough, but this is sort of the steps we need to take, right? This is sort of the necessary evils that we need to have these digitalization platforms moving on to the future, instead of being like, trying to borrow Bleach Volume 43 at your local library, or trying to buy it at Barnes and Nobles for like $16 billion or whatever the fuck it is, right?
I
um
think you just need to get used to it and support the industry, buddy.
that's true. I
Yeah.
apologize. But yeah, Kamiki plans to release the following manga. So first of all, it's the series that Nier just covered. Deatte 5秒で Battle, Battle in 5 seconds after meeting. 史上最強オルクさんの楽しい世界ハラム作り or Happy Harem Making with the Mightiest Orc. Are these, how many of these are going to be, wait, are like most of these going to be isekai adaptations, or sorry, light novel, sorry, manga adaptations of isekai light novels? Is this what I'm starting to read? Okay,
Yeah, buddy.
anyways. Reptile Secrets or Himitsu no Reptiles. I'm a demon lord. I got remarried to a mother of heroes, so she became my daughter-in-law. Maldas. 女優種の母親が再婚したので、女優種が義理の娘になりました. Oh my god. Killer in Love, 君に恋する殺人式. The Strongest Savior, Second Chance, 死に戻り、すべてを救 救うために、救うために最強へと至る。Don't blank with future, 先生で blank, まるまるしちゃいけません。しちゃい、先生でまるまるしちゃいけません。I don't know if that's like some sort of weird smut series. And final one is Killer Vamp. 血のハイの女王。Can we 血とハイの女王 sorry. 血とハイの女王. Can we have normal series, please? Like, I'm
No.
okay with this, but can we have normal series? I'm not okay with the selection, but I'm okay with the platform. But can we have normal series, please, guys? Come on, guys. Shoutouts publishes all the above manga on its Ura Sunday or Manga One apps in Japan. Blah blah. Yeah. Wait. For other chapters, users have the option to purchase the digital keys currency to unlock those chapters. Blah blah blah. Blah. Okay. So yeah, they're running that model. Um, I'm not for right now. I'm not sure if the chapter by chapter model is better than the subscription model. Obviously, it's probably dependent on pricing, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, digitalization platforms of the future. I think just cuts out a lot of stuff and allows for the bottleneck to be loosened a lot more. I heard a lot of bad ones. Sorry. Um, yeah, there's a lot of bad ones in here. Second piece of news here. And this is again similar to what we just talked about. But media news website ICV2 reported on Thursday that North American bookstores and retailers are facing a shortage in the supply of manga in terms of reader demand. The website reported that major retailers such as Amazon and Barnes & Noble, as well as specialty shops such as Comics Conspiracy in Sunnyvale, California, and Comicopia in Boston, Massachusetts, are selling out of popular manga titles and are unable to restock many of them. This is the fucking problem, right? Like, why are we we can't have the issue is for the longest time manga. I mean, ever since the West got out of the silver and gold age of comic books, right? They've become novelty goods, right?
Yep.
We know for the longest time they are not like mass production. Like even magazines, even the most popular magazines, even like Time magazine, right, is no longer like the physical copies of them are no longer like mass produced, like everybody kind of reads them or whatever. It's all novelty stuff, and we can't both be like, oh, we want to expand everything so much, to global everywhere and have it be instant and have all the localizations be on parity with the original language, blah, blah, blah. We can't have all of that. And at the same time, be like, well, we'll make one book by book, blah, blah, blah. In the age where we're literally like everybody just looking at stuff on their tablets and smartphones, we can't be doing this. Like, what? Oh my god, like people, Jesus fucking Christ. Um, According to the publishing news outlet Publishers Weekly, I didn't even know that was a fucking magazine. Truck driver shortages, widespread port congestion, and inflated container costs will continue to cause supply chain challenges. Like what in the book industry into 2022? According to ICV2, the new coronavirus disease COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated existing problems in the supply chain. This is so stupid. Like, oh my god, like, fuck, man. Just I don't know what to say. It's just we should have started digitalizing. Like the worst part is for me is that we in the podcast, right, we started talking about digitalization. I think even back as early as like full on digitalization, right? Even back as far as 2017, 2018, right, when we were first like, oh, there's just like a lot of stuff coming out, and the easiest way to rid the bottleneck, right, at the end of the day is to not have the physical factories and everything, right? And honestly, this move towards digitalization should have happened i- at latest, I think, 2 years ago, right? 2019-ish, when, a lot of studios, like the Japanese industry, right, there was a lot of bankruptcies going on. Like it was showing signs of not being a good model to run, right? In general.
Yep.
But it's just like, oh, they just started so late. And even like the earliest ones that started digitalization were around like 2020, right? And then COVID happened, and now Japanese developers, oh, maybe we should have more manga apps. What? Wait, kids can use their smartphones? What the fuck is this? And it's just like, guy, we can't be doing this, right? We can't be like, what is the point of your marketing and sales department? What is the point of like your entire eh, like top management system if you guys can't even see a couple of years into the future and know that you have to push for digitalization faster? And now we're all in this situation where fucking stupid issues like this are happening, where instead of doing the stuff that fan translators are doing, that new budding studios like J Novel Club and so on are doing, right? And over in Japan, Shugakukan, Kodansha, Shueisha are doing in terms of releasing manga apps, we're stuck with stupid news articles like, "Oh, sorry, the shipping container was stricken with a case of COVID, and now they can't get into port, and now all of your copies of Demon Slayer are not available in your local bars." And like, what the fuck are we even talking at this point, right? Like in the era that we're
Damn, I
literally
guess I'll
reading.
definitely wait. That'll be a thing I will do.
Yeah,
I will
exactly.
definitely
Literally
wait to then legally buy these things.
Yeah, exactly. Literally in the era, in this modern era where we're living in an age where there is uh, an actual site that's called onepunchmanmanga.com or something like that, or like one punch where you read hyphen one punch man manga online.com or some bullshit, right? That
Yeah.
site. And people can literally just go onto it and just boom, 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 get it. In this era that we're living in, why does anybody think that these like uh, supply chain issues are like a sudden thing, and now we suddenly have to deal with them? And who couldn't have predicted this? Like a blind fetus could have predicted these things, and it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating.
I think you underestimate the power of a Japanese businessman's fire.
Yeah, sure. Oh god.
I
I'm
mean, the
glad that people
inability
are.
to. I mean, it sucks because of how, like, just fucking closed off, like, Japanese entertainment, I guess, types are to begin with. Because I think slowly but surely, at the very least, like, Western, like, entertainment companies, fuck you want to call them, publishers, etc., are starting to wisen up to the fact that if you provide people easy access, like, access is the only thing that actually creates piracy. Well, but that also, that includes like bullshit pricing and whatnot. Make something reasonably priced, you fucking make it easy to buy, people will fucking buy it.
I mean, because they have
But
so much more reach. Because it's like instead of, I mean, like obviously, just because like the especially with the younger demographics, right? They'll just be like, when they see or hear, I don't know, not Naruto, but some whatever series, right? Whatever popular series that's going on these days, right? Not even Demon Slayer, just like an A-tier kind of series. People will be like, where can I see that? And
yeah,
people aren't going
Google it,
to
and if
like,
the first fucking place that comes up is a fucking piracy site and not
yeah,
a I
exactly.
will fucking buy this for like a couple bucks a chapter site,
Right,
then
right. Because the moment that official platform comes up and has like the official sites and everything, the top of the Google search is going to be that official site, right? Because of how the links and how people are going to spread it by word of mouth, and people are
well,
just going
just
to be
in
like,
general,
oh,
if you're a legitimate site and I don't think you need to pay Google to be at the top of like a search to like buy that thing. Like
yeah, yeah.
like if I typed in like, oh, where can I buy like or where can I read One Punch Man? And there's an official place that I can pay to do that. Like, I don't think, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm not sure if Google can technically, like, leave up there at the first thing, like, not the place where you can officially buy it, you know? Like, I don't think they can put up, like, a fucking, literally, like, a site that just hosts fucking manga over, like, an official, like, place to buy and read it, you know?
Well, no. What'll happen is Google has technically pretty much complete control of like what they want to like put up and down, and they have been doing that in like markets. But the issue is if they put up if like people aren't stupid, like the marketing team are going to do like basic checks, right? But it's like if the first page on Google is going to have whatever pirate site on top, and then the official site like 4 links down. Guess what? The official people are going to fucking knock on Google's doors, and there's going to be like at least 5 different lawyers ready to kick their asses in. Like
Yeah,
that's
and you'd be
the
like,
so
you better fucking change this right now.
right, exactly. So I mean, again, it's not a high IQ thing. Just do it, man. Like what the
I
fuck?
mean, look, it's
Like
just a matter, it is literally just a matter of that market fucking essentially catching even somewhat up to the West, because even the West really isn't fully there yet. Of just understanding that piracy has just been a fucking absolute, like, just boogeyman for so long, and it's like, I mean, it's real, but it's literally not an issue from the sense of, like, we're all out here looking to fucking steal from you. It's like,
yeah.
no, if you fucking provide me with a good price and, like, a fucking, like, actual easy way to read this, I will pay for it. But if I have to fucking wait because, like, for fucking, like, COVID lockdown fucking bullshit to buy a fucking manga at a bookstore that might not even be open near me, or because they're all fucking dead, then, I mean, dead is in, like, every Barnes and Noble by me is, like, fucking closing. So it's like, even if like things were open, there's really no guarantee that at this rate places that sell it will be open, you know? Like,
In general, it's just like it, how do I say this? It's like the bigger thing is that there's a much bigger crowd out there that aren't that try hard in general, and when they think, oh, where can I get manga there, or where can I read whatever, acquire manga in some way, right? They're not going to go the length to find places where they can consistently read manga or whatever, especially if that place doesn't necessarily have the best, scanlations, or is late, or there are problems with it, or whatever, the usual shit, right? Um, just the same as if you go to, again, like before, if you go to Barnes and Noble and a book is, say, like 14.99, right? You're not going to 99 times out of 100, that person is either going to drop it there, or buy it. That person is not going to be like, can I go on Amazon and eBay and maybe here and there? Let me compare prices on Google Shopping. I have to see the tax and the shipping and blah 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 blah. They're not going to do that. They're going to be like, I'm at this Barnes and Noble. It was the closest thing, and it's the first thing I can think of when I think about books. Right? I go there. I read a little bit of it. I think about checking it out. I check it out. Even for me, like, that's been an experience. Even if later I found out maybe the book was $5 cheaper on Amazon or whatever, right? And
yeah, I mean, at that point, it's like, it
that sort
also
of
doesn't matter, because, like, well, I A, already have it, and B, I was able to just go and get it. I don't have to
right,
fucking,
exactly. That's the thing. I don't have to
I'm not
scoot
sitting
around all the
here like, oh,
interwebs.
I gotta like, go back on and do fucking Prime
Yeah.
shipping. Like, I mean, like shipping costs suck, but at the same time, I forget like what it was that I was doing where it was like, oh, do you want to wait like potentially 4 extra days, or do you want to pay $7 for overnight shipping? And I'm like, yeah, I'll pay $7 to get it tomorrow. Like, sure, whatever. Like, that's fine. Like, I want it now. So, yeah, if I can pay $7 and get it tomorrow, whatever.
Yeah. So
It's
it's
just a
just like
matter of like offering convenience. Like, don't fucking. Essentially, like, if I'm willing to pay for something, don't fucking make me wait for it, or don't make me fucking have to do work. Don't make me have to
but
work to fucking buy it.
yeah. But these people have just been so preoccupied with their own shit and keeping the bottleneck closed and whatever and being like, fucking guidance, we'll just buy all the shit. That they just their marketing team is terrible. But anyways, that is all people, or sorry, that is all the non-person news. There's just one piece of person news here. Niigata police arrested a 27-year-old Chinese national on July 8th on suspicion of violating Japan's Unfair Competition Prevention Act through offering a game modification service for Nintendo's The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game. Police stated that the suspect admitted to the charge. According to the police, the suspect lived in Tushima, Tokyo, and offered a service that took users' game save data for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and modified them to increase their characters' in-game abilities. Okay.
And Nintendo players actually that fucking stupid. They can't even fucking save edit their own files. Yeah, dude, it's rough out there. Like, not
There's
even
no.
modifying consoles. This fucking man is like, like hex editing your fucking saves.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just wait. There's no PvP in this game though, right?
No, that's what I mean.
It's a
He's
single
literally
player game.
just
Yeah, there's
fucking
no.
hex
I don't
editing your
understand.
save file. Like, that's
I
it.
don't
He's
like what the.
just like,
I'm like, there's no like if there was PvP,
I
that's one
mean,
thing, right?
Spire, it'd be like me. I mean, granted, it's a little bit more of a process because it's a console, but it'd be like me charging you to fucking like open up cheat engine and give you more health in Skyrim. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
which I mean,
Yeah,
technically, you don't even open up fucking cheat engine for, but you get the point.
he got arrested for this. Don't mod stuff in Japan, guys. All right.
Especially
I
not
mean,
Anyways,
it's not really
Nintendo
don't
shit.
mod shit in Japan. Don't fucking sell people game save.
yeah, exactly. That too.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
it's more of just like don't touch anything by
Don't touch anything
Nintendo.
Nintendo in a public capacity if you fucking know what's
Because
good
like
for you.
Yeah.
literally, even if this
You're
dude
an
wasn't
idiot.
selling the fucking saves, Nintendo
They would have been
probably
knocking on his fucking door.
yeah, Nintendo
Yeah,
still
They'd
would
be
have
like,
fucking
you're doing
caught
what
him
to our
last.
games?
Because like
What are you spreading
Nintendo
around?
Nintendo has their fucking claws like hooked into the Japanese government. So like they could do whatever the fuck they wanted to if you're doing something to their game that they don't like. Like, you know. Nintendo is kind of fucking insane.
Yeah, Nintendo's kind of weird.
But also you forgot to mention this guy earned $90,000 doing this.
Yeah, I was like, what?
That many people fell for this shit?
Yes, like a lot of fucking people seem to have bought this, and clearly over a pretty long period of time.
And it's just stats. It's not even like he was like doing fucking like the what's it called mods for
Apparently,
them, like model
apparently
swaps
he
and
was
shit, or
apparently he was getting like like you can unlock uh like the master sword and shit early. Apparently he was doing like a lot of weird fucking modification shit.
it's
Like,
like save edits. Like,
I mean, yeah, but like just like weirdly specific stuff. Like if you only want this or you only want that or you want all of it. But I mean, obviously it's stuff you could basically like you could look up how to do on your own. Um Or you could just pay, dude. I guess. I don't know how much he was really charging for these. Is the thing. Because if it's like, I don't know if it's like $5 to like give some dude your save, and then he like
I mean, it's got to be more than that.
unlock shit for you.
If this man made fucking $90,000,
Yeah, I mean he made 90 fucking grand
he can't be charging $5.
in
That
about
that
a
would be
year.
fucking nearly
Like,
what? That would be like nearly 20,000 people went to this man.
I mean, a lot.
Let's just say
Oh,
he's not begging for PayPal donations. Exactly.
yeah, there's a lot of people that buy Zelda, but I mean, I don't know. It's fucking weird. It's a really weird thing to do. Um, he definitely probably should have seen it coming. That like Nintendo was gonna fucking knock on his door.
Wasn't going to be happy about him making a large amount of money on.
Yeah.
More or less, yes.
But yeah, it's a fucking funny story.
Silly.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I mean, if Nintendo doesn't want you making fucking like Patreon for like fan games based on their properties,
They don't want you making.
they don't want you
fan
fucking
games.
making money.
They don't give a shit if there's a Patreon involved.
That's
or not.
true.
If you're making a
If
fan
you're
game,
making a fan game, yeah, it's
with,
like
like-
they don't want you making things for free with their properties. They definitely don't want you profiting off of them.
yeah.
much. But anyways, so that pretty much wraps it up for the news. And with that, we are finally on to our shoutouts and callouts. Every person here gets one shout out, one call out each. Shout out one thing that you want to praise, gives 5 stars, any person plays a thing, and your call out is 0 stars, angry about it all the time. You think about it in your nightmares, or you see it in your nightmares rather. And it can be again any one person plays a thing. I will go first. Let's see, shout out to. I feel like I want to shout out something that's pretty specific.
Shout out your favorite VN this week, Spire.
My favorite. I don't have a favorite VN this week or anything like that, but shout outs to winter themed VNs because I always love winter themed VNs. My call out is to summer, like really hot summer temperatures, obviously. But the main reason is because I can't run during like most of the day these days, just because it's so freaking hot outside, and I run like I try to run like 6 miles a day if I can, but it's obviously not easy when fucking I'm dying outside. So call outs to that.
Spire, why don't you get one of those #1 hats?
That doesn't help as
you
much
know
as
the
you
hats
think.
with the drinks on them. Yeah, well, keep you hydrated.
uh, the hydration is not so much the issue, I think. But near, shout and call outs, please.
I'm gonna shout out.
Your vaccine?
No,
Why not?
definitely not. I'm gonna shout out the fact that Final Fantasy 14 has exploded in popularity to such a point that they sold out on digital keys.
How does that even happen?
Well, they
don't know.
literally don't have the capacity to let
Yeah,
people make new characters on any fucking
Okay.
server. So it's
Yeah,
like
they
can't
straight up
keep
sold
selling
out on
it
digital
because you
keys.
can't make a character.
I mean they can. They just ran out of keys. They just haven't generated more keys. But
How many
like
keys is that though?
probably a fucking lot. And yeah, it was like to the point where pretty much all the servers were at capacity. Yoshi P himself actually like came out and made a statement and said, "Sorry, like we're gonna work on having more server capacity, you know, to accommodate for all these new players." And
Let's
they've
make a new
implemented,
server.
they
Forehead.
re-implemented. Yeah, it's that easy. Just make a new server in fucking in the middle of a pandemic when there's like fucking constant microchip shortages going on. It's that easy. But uh they also implemented the feature that they really only ever implement the launch of an expansion, which is people that are idling for more than 30 minutes, they get locked out. Like you just get fucking heated out of the game. So pretty
Nice.
cool. Pretty cool that the absolute fucking heat death of WoW has absolutely fucking skyrocketed Final Fantasy 14. Pretty cool.
Weird what happens when it takes you 9 months to release a mediocre fucking patch.
Yeah. But callouts to my body for trying
Not
to
being
kill me, I
nice.
guess. It fucking sucks. Not a fan.
Don't worry, dear. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Your DNA is now rewritten.
Yeah, I am Bill.
You are now the elite.
Yes. Okay. What about you, Toast?
Huh? Oh, my shout out? I guess Heavens feels okay. I guess. Not like I feel some sort of emptiness knowing that Fate will never be as good as the original VN anymore. And Fate Extra.
What do you mean anymore? Like that was that was literally the start of Fate.
The only thing that's as good as Fate now is only Fate Extra. And maybe Carnival Phantasm. But yeah, that's not my shout out. My shout out is to Hot Chama's back, and she brought with it meme review, shitty meme review. And guess what? It's even shittier than last time, because all she's doing is she opens up I think a guest Reddit account. I don't know. Does Reddit have guest accounts? I don't have Reddit.
I don't think so.
It
Pretty
has like
sure it goes
hidden
up.
account, like you can like fucking hide your account or whatever.
Because
That's
she
probably
just
what
she
it
just
is.
logged into a random ass Reddit account and she's browsing top month memes, and she just shows them on screen, and I'm like, wow, this is different from Coco handpicking her memes and putting them in an organized fashion. She's just literally copy and pasting her web browser, and it's great. A new level of shitty, because
All
these
these
memes
people
are
are not.
pretty bad. But her really scuffed meme review format is really good too. So
Okay.
I guess she's done with her training arc in quotes. So now she's back, good, and she's just as bad as ever.
Anyways, so yes, thank you, Toast, for a shout out call out.
Oh wait, was that my
And
call out? No, my call out.
what was your call out?
That what?
I don't think you called any. Oh, you called that Fate.
No, I
Yeah, you
didn't.
call out Fate.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
No, he shouted out Fate and then
Oh,
changed.
I was like, I changed my mind. This
Oh,
one's
what the
better.
fuck? All right, all right.
My call out.
I got call outs, please.
I guess I'll call out the Monster Hunter movie. I
how
saw it on.
dare
Yeah.
you?
I saw it on free on Amazon Prime, and I didn't even want. And I want. I take it back. Take it out of my brain. So I don't see it ever again. I don't know. I'm being petty today. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
It was pretty bad, but it wasn't like the worst video. Is it the worst video game movie I've ever seen?
Have you seen the
All right.
Assassin's Creed movie? I heard that one's pretty.
The one with the that guy. What's
Yeah,
that guy's name?
It's not good. It's not good.
Who's that guy? The main character?
Although the Assassin's Creed movie has the absolutely fucking hilarious moment of the Templar dude saying the Assassin's Creed, and then everybody in the room claps. So that's really fucking funny.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the Prince of Persia movie. That one was okay with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
That one was decent. But yeah, no, I haven't seen the what video game movies I've seen. Super Mario Brothers movie, Doom.
I mean, that movie is amazing.
Yeah, no, it's
Doom is really bad.
Oh, Doom.
only-
Yeah. Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah. Super Mario Brothers movie is still the best video game adaptation movie I've ever seen, and that's not a joke. It is. RA movies, RA movies. Oh, I knew it was gonna be bad, but yeah, I mean, I came in knowing it was bad, and it was just as bad as I thought. So good job.
It was much worse than I expected it would be. It's probably the worst movie I've watched in the past, like,
5 years.
yeah, like 5 years probably. It's
Giant
it's really fucking bad.
Giant Rathalos is cool, I guess, but like, okay, so what? I don't need military guys in my movie. Just make it Just make it in the actual Monster Hunter world, just like the Netflix
I mean,
anime that's coming out soon.
the only cool part of the entire movie was Rathalos like fucking up the U.S. military,
Good,
right? Like,
but yeah, the movie sucked. You know what? Watch it once, then forget you watched it. It's free now. It's free now on Amazon if you have a subscription. Is it at Amazon or is it Hulu? I don't know. I have a Fire Stick. I don't remember what I pay for.
Anyways, okay. Thank you, Toast. Dark, what about you?
I will shout out. I'll shout out Warframe's new update. Newest update is pretty good. It has a pretty solid reward loop. Stuff to go for. Overall, things are looking up. You know, we've had a rough couple of years with this game. It was getting really bad. But they just announced their new like cinematic quest, which I don't think we've had a new one that level.
What was
Okay.
cinematic quest? Was it the one where it revealed what the Tenno really is?
Yeah, I mean, no, that wasn't the last one. The first one was that one. That was the. Is that one the War Within? Yeah, I think that was the War
Yeah.
Within, and that came out in I think 2 years after the game. Technically out of close was like out of closed beta. That was like, I think.
How long was it out? Like a long
Like
time.
8 years ago or something like that. Like 2013, 2014 when that came out. I think Second Dream was 2014. And then or no, The War Within. Then Second Dream is 2017, which was the arc where it reveals that like the main essentially like the main operator figure, like the Lotus, was actually
Grenier.
the bad guy. No, not
Oh
Grenier.
no, I like the
Sentient.
Grenier.
She's like, yeah, well, if you like the Grenier, then get excited for the new quest, because the new quest is the new war, where the sentient, like, nanomachine robot enemies decided to cross over from their galaxy to fight us again. And one of the things you do in
Nice.
the cinematic quest is you play as a Grenier, like badass Grenier soldier named Call, and you just go like full fucking like Doom. You rip off a shotgun from a fucking dead Tenno, and you just start blowing down sentients and try and like go out in a blaze of glory. And then you also play as a Corpus guy, and you see how they work, and that like experience is completely different. And then you play as this like guy who's like one of the old soldiers, essentially, which is like the old like samurai type soldiers, based on like the human like progenitor race type guys that were in the game. Probably the easiest way to like explain it. And yeah, just like the switching perspectives between like all these different factions and people experiencing this like literal like war is a really nice touch. And I like that, like prior years, like the reason why I said we had it really rough was because they released like the Railjack update and the updates leading up to that, and they were fucking bad. Like they were just not good. They came out in really rough states. They didn't really have very good rewards. It wasn't fun. It wasn't what was promised. Like Railjack was supposed to essentially, and it still doesn't, which is unfortunate. It's still in a better state, but it was what it was supposed to be was it was supposed to be instead of like just teleporting to the planets that you want to go to unlock them and stuff. It's supposed to be that like to travel the galaxy, you're literally like traveling in your ship from place to place and experiencing it that way instead of just like, oh, you want to like go from one planet to another, like you in order to unlock that, like you have to like your ship missions and shit. Or you could do like space missions and go from the open worlds to space, like and call down your ship. But then all it turned out to be was it was literally just its own like nodes, like its own mission nodes, and it wasn't very rewarding, or was like. But then they patched it so that it wasn't because it was too rewarding. And then it's like the gameplay just like isn't that fun. And it's like I'm playing this game, run around my Warframe abilities and to shoot enemies. The novelty for like Railjack was that it was going to be to like connect everything in the game. Not that it was going to be this like super fun fucking in-depth like spaceship battle like nonsense. It's like that's not why I'm playing this game. I don't want to pilot a fucking spaceship. I want to run around and swing a sword and shoot a fucking shotgun and have like spells at the same time. Fill that niche.
Okay.
But yeah, but this new story update looks fucking awesome. So that was cool, and the current new update was really good, except for the newest Warframe, who's fucking sucks dick, and I really hope they revisit her. A lot more than damage buffs. Don't know what the fuck they were thinking.
Which is the newest Warframe? Is it
Newest Warframe is Ureli, the like jellyfish girl, which her kit doesn't even fucking function together. She has a close ranged ability, yet the entire time you're supposed to be at range as her using like a secondary weapon. Makes no fucking sense. And yeah, that's basically it for my shout out before it turns into a fucking call out as well. As far as my call out would go, I guess I could call out you know what? I will call out Activision Blizzard. But I'm not gonna call it out for allegations and scandals because I think that's too easy and kind of goes without fucking saying. Like, I mean, I think at this point, like, there are probably very few people I would consider innocent in a scenario like that. Considering I don't think that being a sort of what's it called, bystander in a company to that is something that you can just say is like, not someone's responsibility to try and speak out about that in fear of retaliation, considering you're in fear of being retaliated to and blacklisted from companies that are engaging in this behavior or allowing it anyway. So if you're, I guess, willing to work for a company that allows harassment and rape in it, then by all means, you don't get to argue that you need the job because so does the fucking human resources people and the management people. But they also didn't do what was morally right either. So don't consider that an argument. But anyway, my major call out's going to be for the Sylvanas fucking bullshit that's been going on because the story is garbage. It's very fucking stupid and it makes no sense. There's a new cutscene in the game where Sylvana. I don't. Have I already fucking called this out? No, I'll
Yes.
probably fucking
Or
do
I
it
think
again
maybe
anyway.
we
That
did,
cutscene
yeah.
fucking sucks, dude. It's so stupid because I was thinking about it more today, and it's like Sylvanas gets her fucking soul back, but the only like the other half of her soul, and the only way you'd know that would be if you read the fucking fairy tale book and shit. And if you already read all that book and did all that shit, you pretty much knew exactly what was gonna happen in that fucking cutscene anyway, and then nothing more than that happened. So that cutscene's not for people who fucking know all the stuff and read the book because it offers them nothing more. And then if you didn't read the book, you don't even know what the fuck happened. Like you have no fucking idea what happened. So it's not even for people who didn't read the book. Making that cutscene bad and for no one. Fuck that cutscene. It's unsurprising as to why their game is fucking floundering at this point, I guess. Oh, and that was another thing too. Jason Schreier also had a whole thing where it's like a big fucking old boys club. Surprise, surprise, the thing that we've all been fucking saying for years, tried to deny is real. What a fucking shocker. What a shocker that a game that's making complete asinine fucking like decisions that no one's asked for like a fucking decade at this point is as a result of a handful of people who basically tell everyone else that they can eat shit or fucking quit. It's almost like this is really the only scenario something like that would even happen. Apparently the new raid is pretty good though, so that's unfortunate because the rest of the game is fucking bad. Maybe if they make the rest of the game good, I would be more willing to play it again.
Anything else? Or I think
No,
that
that'll
should
be
be
it.
it for the shout.
That's like two solid rants right there. So
Okay. Anyways, after that, after Dark got quite a bit off his chest, we are finally done with the Shadows and Callouts. And thank you everybody for sticking through with us. This was a little bit of a lengthy podcast. I apologize, but what is it next? What is it? By next episode, we should pretty much everything should pretty much be out for the summer season, so we will be able to get right into it. And most series should be on their 5th and 6th episodes, so we should be in the thick of things. We should be able to cover a lot more series that are not as episodic, have a little bit more complex plots. We'll go through those, some more of those in the next episode. Keep you updated, and if you do like what we do here, you can check us out at twitch.tv/4PlayerAnimecast. That's with a number 4, where we record our podcast every other Saturday, starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talk about the latest and greatest in Japanese animation, media, anime, manga, light novels, web novels, visual novels, and so much more. So check us out here. We have our VODs recorded of the podcast on YouTube as well. So check us out there, whichever format please. Check us out on our social media, on Facebook, 4PlayAnimecast, and on Twitter at 4PlayAnimecast for more updates and information on when we're coming live, when we got stuff out, so on and so forth. And with that, we'll see you next time.